season opener.
There's the kick by Capiz. It's a deep one. It's going to be taken by Monk in the end zone. He comes out with it. 5, 10, breaks to the left side to the 20, finds a small hole and gets up around the 25-yard line, where Willie Jones and Ivy Joe Hunter, the two co-captains of the Seminoles, bring him to a halt. A 25-yard return. The ball will be put into play at the Syracuse 25-yard line. Bill Hurley, Buffalo Bill they call him, the senior, and a good one. As a matter of fact, we have a sign here, Gene, that says Hurley for Heisman. Number 5. The Seminoles will use their basic Oklahoma 5-2 defense. Let's see the first play. Man in motion. Hurley gets the ball, hands it off to Hartman, right side. He gets about 5-6 yards before he's dropped over there by Arthur Scott, number 54. He's a sophomore from Tampa.
Hartman's going to get a few carries this afternoon. We can imagine hit 224. He's got a ball through the line, and he's going right over right tackle, and that's Craig Wolfley. And we mentioned in our pregame comments, Coach Frank Maloney considers him his best offensive lineman.
Second down, 4 to go now for the Orange. Hurley brings him out with a wide receiver set up to the right side. That'll be number 40, Greg Williams. Here's Hurley back to pass, and the flat. It is complete to the 35. Coming in was Mike Smith, number 37. He tried for the interception, but Mike at 5'11" was just not tall enough. He jumped high into the air, as you saw on your screen, but the pass was completed to Art Monk for a first down.
On replay, Hurley rolls to the left side. Monk, a little bit taller than Mike Smith, got it over his head and took it for a few more yards to the 45-yard line. And the Hurley to Monk passing combination, the bruising runs of Dennis Hickman, the offensive playing plan so far of Coach Frank Maloney.
Okay, Bill Hurley now under center. Looks over the Seminole defense. Man in motion to the right side. Hurley gets the ball. Running to the right side. Around in, cuts back, and he gets good running room as he brings it across the midfield stripe. So Hurley on the option play to the right side, cut back off tackle, and picked it up about 4 yards on the play. He was stopped by number 28, Keith Jones, who is the weak safety for the Seminoles in that secondary.
One of the big question marks to be answered in this ball game is the secondary of Florida State. A makeshift secondary. Bobby Butler did not start. The ankle injury apparently holding him back today.
Second down, about 5 to go. The ball right at the midfield stripe. Hurley gets the ball. He hands it straight back to Hartman, and he's really hit. And I believe on the bottom of the stack is Ron Simmons, number 50. So the sophomore for Warner Robins, Georgia, in on his first stop of the afternoon. A gain of 1 on the play. It'll be third down, 4.
That's the best defensive stand early going in this ball game, stopping Hartman for a gain of less than a yard. That brings up the first third down situation for Hurley and company.
Hurley has stayed on the ground so far, Gene, except for that one pass to Monk. Smith was on him on the coverage, but there is Hartman. Monk it is, rather, across the 45. He picks up the first down. And so far, the Syracuse Orange have been running the defensive left side of the Seminole for a wall. Another first down, the second of the ball game now for the Orange. Arthur Scott, number 54, was in on the stop. So the Orange now in the Seminole territory, the ball just across the 45-yard line.
Second first down by the Orange in the ball game.
First and 10 to go for the Orange, led by Buffalo Bill Hurley. He looks over the Seminole defense now. They've got 6 men on the line. Hurley, right side, pitches back to Monk. Monk slips as he comes across the 45-yard line. Falls forward to about the 43. And into stop Monk on the play was Walter Carter, number 76, along with Paul Porowski, the linebacker, number 53, a sophomore from Sarasota. Pick up 2 yards on the play. It'll be second and 8 now for the Orange. The ball at the Seminole 43-yard line. Early in the ball game with 11:56 to go in the first quarter. Flankers to the left, Seaball and Williams. Man in motion is Monk. Here's Hurley back to pass. Looks downfield. He's being pressured now by Simmons and Arthur Scott. He gets around Scott. He's down the sideline and finally knocked out of bounds. As he crosses the 40, gets inside the 40 at about the 37-yard line. Scott Warren along with Reggie Herring to make the stop after Hurley being pressured. Back deep, skirted out and carried for yards.
Took a tremendous hit from Reggie Herring and Scott Warren. Warren got him low, Herring got him high, and nearly knocked him in two. While Hurley is down on the field, let's pause for this commercial timeout. Here at Arch Bowl Stadium are in silence right now as Heisman Trophy candidate Bill Hurley has been injured and is still laying flat on his back. As we watch the replay of the previous play, here's the play. Hurley rolls back, drops back into the pocket. Big pressure by Simmons, and Arthur Scott gets to the sideline. And here's where Reggie Herring and Scott Warren made the hit, and a vicious hit it was too. Coming up on the plane, we talked to Jim Gladden about the play of Reggie Herring at linebacker. He was a defensive back last year on the junior varsity squad, and he mentioned that Reggie Herring was probably the hardest hitting defensive back, or linebacker for that matter, on the Seminole squad. And last season, as a junior varsity player, in every ball game he played in, there was at least one drag-off. And we asked Jim Gladden, what is a drag-off? And he said that was when Reggie Herring hit someone so hard that he had to be dragged off the field. And I think, Bill, that we have seen what could be a very crucial drag-off for the Syracuse Orangemen.
Well, Hurley is up on his feet now, Gene, and what a loss it would be for the Syracuse Orange if this very fine quarterback could not continue. We'll take a look at his backup. He is in the ball game right now, number 10.
Ron Farneski, and he's a 5'11", 196-pound junior out of Neshannock, New Jersey, and he was in on only 10 plays last year as a sophomore. This year a junior and very little experience.
What a lick Mr. Herring put on the quarterback, Bill Hurley. Certainly a factor in this ball game early, as Hurley had taken the opening kickoff at his 25-yard line and has moved for 2 first downs inside the Seminole 40-yard line where the ball is right now. It'll be a third down and about 2.5 situation to go. Call it 3. And as you can see on the camera right now, there is Bill Hurley being assisted to the sidelines by the assistant coaches.
I am watching the 2 trainers and the team doctor assist Hurley across the field. He was injured immediately in front of the Seminole bench, so he's walking across the field with assistants, and it does not appear to be a leg injury. Either the wind was knocked out of him or perhaps an injury to the ribs or upper body. But he does not appear to have a leg injury from here. We'll have to wait for the official word from the sideline, which we hope to have before the end of this quarter.
Okay, the ball will be spotted just outside the 37-yard line is where the official has marked the ball. It'll be a third down, 3-yard situation. Farneski is the new quarterback now, replacing Hurley. We've got a wide receiver to the left side. That is Williams. Farneski with the ball. He hands it off to Hartman, right side. He spins, gets a yard 2, close to first down yardage as he bucks into about the 35.5-yard line. And let's see. That will bring up a 4th down. He did not get the required yardage. It looks about a half-yard, Gene.
And the fans at Arch Bowl would like to see the Orangemen go for it, but I don't think Frank Maloney, without the services of Bill Hurley at the moment, is going to take a gamble and give the Seminoles excellent field position at about their 35. Jim Goodwill is the punter. Last year, he averaged 35.7 yards per punt, and he's in to try the punt. They'll line up at the 36-yard line, and he'll be standing back at midfield.
Back in deep formation for the Seminoles, standing at the 10-yard line is Ivory Joe Hunter. There's a kick. It's going to easily carry into the end zone. No, it will not. It takes a backward roll and goes out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. A high spiral into about a 15-mile-per-hour wind prevented that ball from going into the end zone as it hit about the 5, took reverse English, and came back upfield, and the Seminoles with fairly good field position.
And it was punted away from Ivory Joe Hunter. It came to the near sideline and then took a Seminole bounce. It hit initially at about the 10, bounced back to the 19-yard line. But the Florida State Seminoles will have their initial possession of this ball game.
So a good defense by the Seminoles that time, stopping the Syracuse Orange. And for the first time now, they will have their ball at their 19-yard line. Jordan off to Lyles, left side, 1 yard. He's hit by number 82, Mike Getfay. So yard gain. Incidentally, Gino, Mark Lyles played his ball not far from here in high school.
Mark Lyles, 6'4", 226-pound junior, and he has lost some weight. Came into camp this year in better shape than he has the previous 2 years, and I think that Mark Lyles is going to get the call several times this afternoon. He'd like to look well here in front of his old audience.
Gain of 1 now, 2nd and 9. The Seminoles at the 20. Here's a pitch back to Holmes Johnson in the ball game. He gets very little running room. There's maybe a yard on the play. And fumble on the play, but let's see. I believe the ball was ruled dead. It was. In to diagnose the play and drop the ball carry was number 33, Jim Collins, who is a linebacker over on the right side. That time a wide pitch out back to Holmes Johnson, the fine sophomore from Haines City, Florida. He gained about 3 yards on the play. Call it 3rd down and 7 to go. 3rd and 7, the ball at the Seminole 23-yard line. Flanker wide to the right. Flowers has a handoff now to Johnson. Johnson in the middle across the 25, and he brings it up to the 27-yard line, which is going to be short of a 1st down. The Seminoles will have to give up the pigskin.
Nothing particularly fancy by Coach Bobby Bowden that time. Nary a time did Jimmy Jordan drop back into the pocket to throw the pass, and I thought perhaps on that 3rd and long situation that Jordan may have called on the Winchester and put the ball in the air. But that time, deep in their own territory, the game plan of Coach Bobby Bowden, keep it on the ground and test the defensive line.
Art Monk now will stand at his 30-yard line in deep punt formation to receive the football, and Ron Stark with a low snap gets a wobbly spiral upfield. It's going to be taken, will not be taken, and he gets a tremendous roll at the 15-yard line. It's going to be down just inside the 15-yard line. Ron Stark kicked a low, wobbly spiral. Monk, coming up, almost made an effort to grab the ball at the 35-yard line. At the last moment, he let it go, and he got a tremendous roll to the... That's where Syracuse...
Quick arithmetic for the freshman out of 50 Lakes, Minnesota. 58-yard punt. Took a great bounce for the Seminoles. Now the Syracuse Orange will have possession for the 2nd time deep in their own territory.
About a 60-yard punt. We'll have to get the stats for you on that punt, but a tremendous effort, a good roll by Ron Stark. Ferneski with the ball to the right side. The option cuts back, and he gets good yardage as he brings it across the 20-yard line, all up to about the 23 or 24-yard line. Before he's finally hit and dropped by one of the defensive secondary men, Keith Jones, number 28.
If you've joined us late, Bill Hurley, All-American candidate for the Syracuse Orange, was crunched by Reggie Herron and Scott Warren on the initial possession by Syracuse, and he is on the sideline. The extent of the injury is unknown at the moment, but Farneski can run the option for Syracuse.
Full house backfield now, and there's a handoff to Hartman. He gets the 1st down as he goes his way across the 25-yard line. And Gene, I think it's very significant to point out that the Orange, who have now just picked up their 3rd 1st down of the ball game, are going over the defensive left side of the Seminole forward wall.
They're going right at the strength of Florida State, too, which is that defensive line. Willie Jones and Walter Carter on that side of the field.
Arthur Scott normally plays the left tackle. Jeremy Medley, number 77, is in the ball game now at that position. And let's see if they'll again try the right side of their line. Here is Ferneski. Rolls back, pitches out to Buck. Buck fumbles the ball out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And that'll be a loss on the play.
Scott Warren had the play contained. There was a mix-up in the exchange for Farneski, and it rolled out of bounds. Let's watch the replay here. Here's Farneski. The pitch back off the arms of Monk and out of bounds. Scott Warren was right there to contain the play. So a loss on that play, the first loss the Syracuse Orange have been assessed in this ballgame by the Seminole defense.
A little bit of a bad pitch by Farneski that time, Gene, causing the fumble, but luckily for Syracuse, it was out of bounds. Pursued very well, as you described, by Scott Warren. Man in motion now to the near side. Here's Farneski back to pass. Looks downfield and shoots it out in the flat. Oh, it's incomplete to Seymour. We've got several telegrams, so when we have an opportunity, we'll read these off, Gene. We'd like to say that we've just got a telegram from Alligator Point where about 30 people are watching the game, and Jim and Madeline Helms' beach house. Jim and Madeline are there with Dick and Rusty Richmond, Joe and Betty Hosford, George Reynolds, Colonel Dwayne Savell, and Barbara, Frank Helms, and Diane, and Harold Odom, and J.J. Golden. A lot of people down at the beach watching us on Channel 6. 3rd down now, and about 13 yards to go for the Orange. Farneski, the man in motion is Seymour. Here's Farneski back to pass now. Downfield in the flat to Seymour. It's complete to the 30, and he is being wrestled out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. It's going to be close to a 1st down.
Ivory Joe Hunter came in to make the hit on that particular pass play from Farneski to Bruce Seymour.
And we'll see it again.
Seymour comes in motion behind the line of scrimmage. He's playing the tight end. Here's the pass, Farneski in the flat to the 30-yard line, and here's the hit by Hunter. Wrestles him out of bounds, and he's very close to a Orange 1st down.
He's a big man, Gene. So for the 2nd time this afternoon, the Orange will have to punt. And there is your punt. It's a high one, wobbly. Fair catch call for by Jones at the 30, so the Seminoles will start from there.
2nd time the Seminoles have held the pigskin, this time a little bit better field position from their own 31-yard line. Last particular series, 3 plays, 3 running plays, and very little yardage gained. A pickup of about 7 yards total offense by the Tribe in that first offensive series. This time with better field position. Perhaps the game plan of Coach Bobby Bowden will be to put it in the air. Jimmy Jordan is yet to throw his first pass of the ball game.
Well, I think the Seminoles would rather stay on the ground and play ball control. That seemed to be their game plan. But right now you see Jordan going way down deep, throws a long one. It is right through the hands of the intended receiver at the Syracuse 28-yard line, Jackie Flowers. Flowers had a step on his man. The ball was beautifully thrown against the wind, Gene, but unfortunately right through the hands of Jackie Flowers. And we're watching again.
Just a simple fly pattern. They sent Jackie Flowers down the far sideline, running at full speed and right through his hands. He had his back to the ball, could not catch it.
Second down at 10. Now the ball spotted just over the 30-yard line in Seminole territory. Jimmy Jordan, your quarterback. Your flankers are Unglob and Flowers. Here is Jordan. Trap play. Lyles, 35-40. Bulls his way to the 41-yard line. Going to be close to a first down. Mark Lyles from nearby Buffalo, New York. Fine junior fullback for the Seminoles.
He went over the right side of the line. Lee Adams and Nate Henderson. 2 offensive linemen on that side of the field, and Mark Lyles picks up good yardage. The first Seminole first down of the ball game, takes it to the Seminole 41-yard line.
Okay, Gil Wesley, the fine junior center from Birmingham, leads his team up to the huddle. Jordan once again. The wideouts are Unglob to the near side, Flowers to the far side. A handoff to Lyles. He's driving at the 45 and carries just over the 45-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 4 on the play, Gene.
That time to the left side of the line, Ken Lanier and Mike Good, the tackle and guard respectively, opening the hole what little there was, but big Mark Lyles bulls forward for 5 yards, and give credit to fine blocking up front by Lanier and Mike Good.
You'll notice from time to time that the Seminoles are using as messengers their tight ends, Grady King and Bill Keck, who is number 86. Here is Jordan now with a second down pass play, complete to Flowers. Inside the 50-yard line. It's going to be very, very close to a first down.
5 minutes and 53 seconds left of the first quarter. There is still no score in the ball game, but the Seminoles, for the first time this afternoon, are into orange territory with their second first down of the ball game. That on a fine pass play from Jimmy Jordan.
Okay, the ball will be spotted right now by the official at the 47-yard line of the orange. So Jordan that time going to the air to pick it up as Gene described, with a pass completion to Jackie Flowers, the fine junior receiver from Jacksonville. Jordan with the ball now. Pitches back to Greg Ramsey, left side, finds a small hole, bulls his way inside the 40-yard line, down to about the 39.5-yard line.
It is amazing how the first couple of passing efforts by Jimmy Jordan has opened up the defensive secondary enough to get and make that run successful. That time Ramsey picks up 5, 6, 7 yards. The running of Mark Lyles there was very well contained on the first possession because the secondary was playing in tight, as were the linebackers. But once Jordan went to the air and opened it up, and the running plays are being effective.
5:24 to go in the first quarter, no score. Jordan looks over that Syracuse defense. He gets the ball for Lyles, who bulls his way up for about 2 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a third down situation with short yardage as the ball will be spotted at the Syracuse 38-yard line.
And another telegram this afternoon. Go get them Seminoles from the Billy Bishop gang from Tallahassee. Fans all over North Florida watching this ball game. We certainly appreciate the telegrams, and we certainly hope you're enjoying today's broadcast. The first of 2 scheduled this year on Channel 6.
Okay, a crucial third down play for the Seminoles. They're out there to keep the drive alive. Let's see what they do. They pitch it back wide to the right side. Here is Greg Ramsey, and he's going to be very close, but it looks from here, Gene, like it's going to be, well, I don't know. It's going to be very, very close. That time, with everybody expecting Lyles into the middle, Jimmy Jordan pitched back to the trailing back. Greg Ramsey trying the right side, and he got it very close to first down yardage.
The yard marker on the far side of the field is just inside the 37-yard line. Should the nose of the football be there on this side of the field, the Seminoles will have made their third first down. It's going to be very close, and the markers are coming across the field.
And while we're bringing the markers over, Gene, you watch, and we'll read another little message here. It says, Larry Henley, Stan Miller, Blaine Yost, and Dick Collins wish to extend a hearty hello on their regrets to their fellow Elks at the Tallahassee Lodge, number 937, for their absence from the FSU-Syracuse TV game. The watching party at the Elks Lodge, of course. They're up here with us and a part of about a 200-fan contingent who are really urging the Seminoles on. Gino?
The Seminoles are about 6 inches away from a first down, deep in orange territory. Do you gamble now, or do you play conservative and bring in the mouse? Dave Capella and try a field goal. 7 yards from that line of scrimmage, the 37-yard line would be the 44. That would be a 54-yard field goal, and the Seminoles are going to try for it.
Well, Bobby Bowden is going to show his colors early. 4th down and inches to go, and let's see. What would you do, Gene? Send the big plunging fullback into the middle of the line, 230 pounds of junior. Let's see. Jordan straight ahead has the first down yardage as he moves it very close to the 35-yard line. It would appear from here, with no flags on the field, that the Seminoles have gambled on 4th down and 1.
He needed 6 inches, and Jimmy Jordan just elongated his body and got the necessary yardage for the first down. The third of this series, and the Seminoles continue to roll toward the eastern end zone, the orange end zone here at Archbold Stadium. A very good drive so far. It has been penalty-free, and one thing you just mentioned, there have been no flags in this ball game to this point.
4 minutes, 16 seconds to go. First quarter, no score. Jordan with a first down at the Syracuse 36-yard line. Here's Jordan, back to pass, looking downfield, being pressured. He is going to throw the ball downfield. It is no good at the 20-yard line. At that time, the defensive pressure by the Orange was tremendous on Jimmy Jordan.
Kurt Unglob went deep and then had to come back. And the pass was overthrown, but he was really shocked from behind by John Patterson.
We'll see it again, James.
Jimmy Jordan had to put on his running shoes that time as we watch in replay. Here's Jordan. He drops back. He was looking to the far side of the field. Saw nobody there. Had to come to the near sideline, then threw it in desperation to Unglob. Unglob was coming back, and it was over his head.
Okay. Wide to the top of your screen now is Jackie Flowers, and boy, is Mark Lyles really smacked by number 33, Jim Collins, the linebacker, as Jordan that time set his big fullback right up the middle, and Collins really lured the boom on him at the line of scrimmage. He might have gained 1 yard on the play. It'll be a 3rd down, 9 situation for the Seminoles. Grady King into the ball game, replacing Bill Keck as the messenger.
Jimmy Collins has really made his presence known defensively at linebacker. He's the strongest player on the Syracuse team. Bench presses 400 pounds. Last year with a broken leg, did not see a play, but today he has been Mr. Defense for Syracuse.
Here's Jordan back to pass now, looking downfield. He shoots. It is dropped by Unglob, who tried for a diving catch at the 18-yard line. The ball was thrown low and just ahead of the outstretched fingers of Kurt Unglob, who was open and had a step on his man at the 18-yard line.
A little less than 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. There is still no score. That time Unglob ran just a slight slant toward the middle part of the field. The pass underthrown by Jimmy Jordan. That would have been a first down. Now it's a punting situation for the Florida State Seminoles.
We might say in the first quarter that the Seminoles are going into the wind, and Syracuse has the wind at their backs. 4th down. Stark already has one booming kick earlier this quarter. Good snap. Stark angling for the left sideline, and let's see, it's going to hit at the 3-yard line, bounce into the end zone for an automatic touchback. So the Syracuse Orange will start from their 20-yard line.
The left-footed kicker for the Seminoles, Ron Stark, nearly had the coffin corner that time. It took a reverse bounce, and Scott Warren was there going toward the corner, but it bounced back into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Syracuse Orange will begin again on their own 20-yard line. Farneski still the quarterback. Bill Hurley injured in the first offensive series by the Orange.
We have not seen Hurley on the bench either, Gene, and we have not gotten a report on him. We'll try to bring you up to date as we hear it here in the television booth. Here's Farneski, hands off to Hartman, and he's sacked by Walter Carter after Ron Simmons slowed him up. Number 76, the fine junior from Richmond, Virginia, Walter Carter, along with Reggie Herring, who's having one whale of the ball game so far, Jim.
Every series this defensive unit of the Seminoles has to play is going to make them a better defensive secondary and a better defensive unit as a whole, because coming into the ball game, that was the big question mark. If they can contain Farneski and company now, they will get stronger as the game goes on.
2nd and 10, the ball at the 20-yard line. No gain on that previous play. Here is Farneski. Pitch back to Hartman. Hartman running room, and he is finally knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line by number 21, Bobby Butler, along with Paul Porowski and Ivory Joe Hunter. It's good to see Bobby Butler in the ballgame, Gene.
He did not start the ball game. The ankle injury was still hurting on the plane trip. The trainer, Doc Falls, and John Mooney, we talked to both of them this morning. Will he play? And they said he will not start, but we're going to test his ankle. If he can go with it, we're going to let him in there.
The ball spotted at the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, about 2 yards to go. Let's see if the Seminoles can hold on this very crucial 3rd down play. Farneski with a man in motion left is Monk. Farneski to Hartman. Hartman hits in there, and the left side of that defensive forward wall for the Seminoles meet him, and I believe stop him cold.
Again, the new quarterback, Farneski. There was trouble on the exchange from Farneski to Dennis Hartman that time. Not a clear exchange or a clean exchange, and therefore trouble at the line. It jammed up. No gain on the play. So a big third down play for the Seminole defense. They hold, and Goodwill will have to come in and punt the football.
Jeremy Minlin, with help from Porowski, made that last stop, and for the third time in the ball game here in the first quarter, the Orange will punt it away. A low snap. There is the ball. A high, booming spiral taken in by Keith Jones at the 30, and he's dumped at that point. A great downfield tackle by number 54 for the Orange.
It was Joe Hodges. Keith Jones decided to take that punt, run with it. Should have called for the fair catch. He was plastered. And again, the Seminoles, deep in their own territory, will have the football. Their possession begins with 1:27 left in the quarter. There has been no score in the ball game.
Okay, let's see what Jordan calls for the 1st and 10 at his 30. Here is Jordan. A hand back to Johnson. Left side, running room, 35, 40, 45, 46-yard line. Holmes Johnson found a gaping hole on the left side, opened by Ken Lanier, and found running room. A first down by Holmes Johnson, number 22.
Holmes Johnson and Greg Ramsey alternating a running back. Both have good speed, but Holmes Johnson a little bit quicker at 4.5 in the 40. That time he got to the outside, and on our replay we see the tackle, but Johnson picks up a first down, gets the ball up to the 46-yard line, right close to it, and the Seminoles are moving the football.
16-yard pickup, Gene, on the play. Fine running. Here's a pitch back now the other side, and he's going to be not so fortunate this time, as coming in to deck him hard was number 55 for the Syracuse Orange. And that was the nose guard, Willie McCullough, and he represents a lot of good seasoning and experience in that defensive forward wall for the Orange.
Both teams are blessed with exceptionally good nose guards. Florida State, of course, with Ron Simmons, the sophomore out of Warner Robins, and Willie McCullough, a senior, a 3-year letterman for the Orange. Runs the 40 and 4.5, so he's very quick, and bench presses 340, so he's also very strong.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Jordan back to pass now. Downfield, he shoots. Complete to Flowers. Flowers to the 30, 25, 20, 18. He's down. But a flag, I believe, has fallen on the play. And there's going to be a penalty indicated against the Seminoles.
37-yard pass play, probably holding back there at the 35. We'll check it here on replay.
Nullified a tremendous effort, as that time Flowers, on a deep post pattern, caught a perfect toss from Jimmy Jordan and went all the way to the 18-yard line of the Orange. But a flag was thrown, and I believe holding has been indicated against the Seminoles. Will bring the ball back. And a very unfortunate penalty at a very critical time, Gene. The first penalty of the ball game.
Deep slant pattern by Jackie Flowers. Pass perfectly thrown by Jimmy Jordan. It hit him about the 40-yard line. It would have covered some 38 yards had it been successful. However, the yellow flag on the field nullifies it, and the ball will be brought back.
They indicated motion penalty. So there was a motion called against the Seminoles and nullifying a beautiful pass play from Jordan to Flowers. So, 2nd down now and 16 to go for the Seminoles. Here's Jordan. Hands it back to Holmes Johnson. Johnson 45, 50, cuts back to 45, and he is at the 41-yard line. It'll be a first down. Another tremendous power run by Holmes Johnson.
Holmes Johnson, the question is, who is going to replace Larry? He picks up a very important first down, gain of about 18 yards on that play.
Okay, close set offense, and that's the quarter. And at the end of the first quarter of action here at Archbold Stadium, the score is Florida State 0. And Syracuse 41-yard line. Jordan gets the ball. Back to pass, looking downfield. Good field position. There is a pass caught by Flowers at the 1-yard line. And
catch by Jackie Flowers.
What a tremendous catch by Jackie Flowers.
41-yard pass completion, circus catch. Jackie Flowers, the junior from Jacksonville, pulls it in, and the Seminoles knock on the door. Here goes Jordan. Fake handoff to Johnson, stacks up the linebackers. Jordan throws the deep bomb. Here's Flowers between 2 receivers. Circus catch and nearly a touchdown.
Oh, what a catch, Gino. That's what you call concentration. Now, Jackie Flowers has indicated in spring practice, and again this fall, that he is going to be the man to watch this year as far as the receiver goes, to replace the likes of Schumann and Overby.
Seminoles with the first scoring opportunity of the ball game, and close, a yard out.
Here's Jordan now, hands it off to Lyles. Lyles into the middle. Let's see, did he get it? Or is he going to be stopped close to the goal line? It looked like he punched in, Gene, but I believe they're going to say that he ceased his forward motion at about the 1-foot line. So no score, awful close as Jimmy Jordan handing it in to his big 230-pound running fullback Mark Lyles. The ball just shy of the touchdown stripe.
Very close, within 6 inches of the Syracuse end zone in that first quarter. Holmes Johnson, who did not start, picked up 37 yards at offense on the ground.
Okay, let's look ahead now. Straight ahead, Jordan, touchdown. So the Seminoles have their first touchdown of the 1978 season on a quarterback sneak from 1 foot away by the junior quarterback from Tallahassee, Leon, Jimmy Jordan.
Jimmy Jordan, quarterback keeper, second time today we've seen that play. Once on a very crucial 4th down situation with about 6 inches to go. And that time, no chance of a fumble with an exchange of the football to a running back. Jimmy Jordan takes it over. And the Seminoles are on the scoreboard for the first time in 1978 with 13:42 left in the second quarter. The score is Florida State 6, Syracuse nothing, and Dave Capellan will try the point after touchdown.
Snap, placement, kick. It is good. And the Seminoles now come back upfield. And the score, the Florida State Seminoles 7, the Orange of Syracuse nothing.
Florida State holds a 7-0 lead. Diving in from the 1-yard line, Jimmy Jordan scores the first touchdown of this season for the Seminoles. On the point after attempt by Dave Capellan, it was good. Syracuse was offsides, so the Seminoles will kick the football from 5 yards toward the Syracuse end zone, which is the Seminole 45.
Okay, Bill Capice, the sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, will kick to the Syracuse Orange. He will have the wind at his back here in the second quarter, Gene. Capice up on the ball. He kicks it high, twisting at the goal line. It's taken by Warren Carter. He's down the far left sidelines, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds on a fine return by number 3, and he can scoot.
He's a 4-3 man in the 40, fastest man on the Syracuse Orange team. He got an opening down the sideline and ran it back to the 37-yard line. Okay, the 35-yard run back. We'll see it here on replay. Warren Harvey gets it. Good wall of blocking on that far sideline. Look at the speed of this kid. Only 155 pounds, but can he move?
The ball at the Syracuse 37-yard line now. Fernaski with a man in motion to the right is Seymour. He fumbles the ball momentarily, shoots it out in the flat to Seymour, and he's dumped hard by Ivory Joe Hunter as he catches the football up at the 42.5-yard line.
And again, the new quarterback, Farneski. Ron Farneski, a 196-pound junior, in on only 10 plays last year as a sophomore behind outstanding quarterback Bill Hurley. He did not see that much action. Hurley taken out in the first offensive possession by Syracuse when he was hit by Reggie Herring and Scott Warren. So the exchange from center to Farneski is different and causing problems.
Slot back is Seymour. He goes in motion to the top of your screen. Farneski back to pass once again, being pressured, shoots in the flat, and he is hit immediately by Ivory Joe Hunter again. Will be short of a first down. And Gene, I think we're developing a pattern now as far as the Syracuse offense is going. It's the short flare passes.
Short flares, exactly what the Seminole defensive coordinator Jack Stanton anticipated in this ball game, and they're trying to pick apart a very new secondary. Ivory Joe Hunter has been on the side of the play where the passes come. Seymour in motion as a tight end will go into motion. Hunter will follow him.
Okay, now it's third down, short yardage to go. We've got a regular T formation, full house backfield, if you please. Fernaski, the quarterback, looks over the Seminole defense. He hands it back to Hartman. Flag goes down, and let's see, he's battling for yardage. And I believe we're going to have motion called against Syracuse, the preliminary indication.
It appeared to me that the fullback, Dennis Hartman, was in motion. May have gotten off the three-point stance before the snap of the football. Here we'll see it. No, it was not. It was Art Monk, number 45, that was in motion. He was the left man in that stacked backfield behind Ron Farneski. 5-yard penalty, so there will be no first down, and a much longer distance for Farneski and company to move to pick up a first down.
The ball will be taken back to the 42-yard line, but it'll be a third down now, and about 5.5-yard situation to go. Gino, let's see now. Farneski will go with that flare pass. They've been very successful on this drive with 2 completions, and they need about 5.5 yards to go. Let's see if the Seminoles can contain the Orange on this critical third down situation. Fernaski rolling back, looking downfield, shoots. It is no good. And a brilliant defensive play by Paul Porowski, number 53. Had he caught the ball, Gene, it would have not been enough for a first down.
Here we go. Farneski dropped back. He was obviously going to pass the football. Fine pass rush that time. The pass was partially deflected in the backfield as Farneski tried to get it away by Monk Bonasart, who was blitzing on that particular play.
Another punting situation now for the Orange. And back in double safety for the Seminoles, Keith Jones and Ivory Joe Hunter. And once again, a booming spiral. And Keith Jones, once again at the 25-yard line, calls for a fair catch. And the Seminoles, once again, will take over the football at that point.
The Seminole defense gets stronger every time they get on the field, and that time they contain the Syracuse Orangemen. Goodwill has to put the football into the air with a punt, and the Seminoles have it again. 12:04 left, second quarter. The score is Florida State 7, Syracuse nothing.
33-yard punt, and we're very happy to have in our telecasting booth here Bob McLeod, who's keeping statistics for us here. There's a pitch back to Johnson. Johnson 30, 35, and he pulls his way for yardage. The sophomore from Haines City.
Took it over the right side between tackle and end. Fine offensive blocking at the line of scrimmage by the Seminoles. The Seminoles came up to Syracuse after working out very hard for the last couple of weeks. They're in excellent condition. Here's Holmes Johnson. Fine opening right side. He gets through into the secondary, and can he put up the speed there? He had 37 yards in offense in the first quarter. That's another 12-yard gain. Make it 49 yards, and the halftime is not here yet.
At the bottom of your screen now, Jackie Flowers, who made one tremendous reception of a Jimmy Jordan aerial to set up the first touchdown, the only touchdown so far. Here's Jordan to Lyles. Lyles around at Johnson up to the 45-yard line. And a good pickup on the play, once again, to the sophomore, number 22, Holmes Johnson.
He takes it to the 45, which should be a gain of 8, maybe 8.5 yards on that particular carry. And the offensive line on not only the right side behind the blocking of Lee Adams, but also the left side behind Ken Lanier and Mike Good, opening up big holes for the little guy, Holmes Johnson from Haines City, to get through. And when he gets through, it's 8 to 10 yards.
Okay, Jordan looking over the defense now. Second down and 2-yard situation for the Seminoles. Here is Jordan back to pass, looking for the long one. It's going to be complete to the tight end, number 86, Bill Keck, who was wide open and had a step on his man, but in catching the football, stumbled and fell at the 45-yard line. He'll be another first down, and let's watch it again.
Jordan, straight drop back. Little flare out to the outside. Near sideline, and Bill Keck, with his sure hands, pulled it in. That's what a tight end's supposed to do. They don't expect him to carry the football too many yards after they catch it. Just be sure the big guys catch it out there.
Okay, another first down for the Seminoles, who are driving again now. The ball at the Syracuse 45-yard line. Here is Jordan. Jordan to Lyles, and he's really popped at the line of scrimmage. In to get him was number 33 again, and what a whale of a ball game he's played so far, Jim Collins, Jim.
Jim Collins, you'll hear his name very frequently this afternoon. He, along with Millie McCullough, those two are the stalwarts on the defensive alignment for Coach Frank Maloney's Syracuse Orange. McCullough, the nose guard. Jim Collins, the weak side linebacker. One of the few times since that first series that the Seminoles have been stacked up at the line of scrimmage. That time a low exchange from Jordan to Lyles. 2nd and 10 to go. Jordan back to pass, being pressured out in the flat. He shoots it to Lyles. He's got it at the 50, 45, cuts back, and goes inside the 40-yard line. A good driving run by Mark Lyles, as Jordan that time got a blitz from the Orange, and he dumped it off in the right flat to Mark Lyles, who brought it up for about 7 yards. Pick up on the... Lee Adams really racked Bob Arkelpane. Here's the catch. Fine reception by Lyles, and look at Arkelpane knocked on his feet by Lee Adams, the big offensive guard playing the right side of the line. The blocking downfield was there. Lyles just could not get away. What a surprise Lee Adams has been so far. Very pleasant surprise for the offense line of the Seminoles. 3rd down now, and about 3 to go. Jordan back to pass downfield. He shoots. It is no good. Intended for Unglob at the 25-yard line, and again a little off target that time. On a quick look-in pattern, the ball was thrown just out of the outstretched fingertips of Kurt Unglob. John Patterson, number 35, covering on the play. 9.25 minutes left in the second quarter. The score is still Florida State 7, Syracuse nothing. The Tribe scored on a 1-yard plunge by Jimmy Jordan after Jackie Flowers made a circus catch at the 1-yard line that covered some 41 yards. The line of scrimmage now is the 38-yard line. Ron Stark will have the wind to his back. Let's see what he does with his punt. He is a freshman. He gets a good snap, angling for the right sideline. It's a high wobbly catch, going to hit at the 10-yard line to be downed at that point by Nate Henderson. So a good hang time
long putt, Gene, and not too much distance, straight up. It bounced at the 10, was downed at the 11 by Nate Henderson.
You can't make a prediction after seeing nearly 2 quarters of play here in 1978, but I would say this, that so far the kicking game of Florida State has been as strong as we anticipated. Ron Stark, the freshman, not many people have had a chance to see Ron Stark in the scrimmages, but he is an outstanding punter. Florida State fortunate to pick up this candidate for the Air Force Academy, who decided he did not want to play for the Academy and decided to come to Florida State, play football for Coach Bobby Bowden. He's a good one.
9 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first half. The Seminoles with a 7-0 score over the Syracuse Orange. Here's Fernaski back to pass in the flat. He shoots. Seagull's got it at the 20-yard line. He's wrestled down at that point by Scott Warren, along with number 42, Mark Montessori.
It appears that Florida State defensively is willing to give up 3 to 4 yards on a run play or perhaps a short pass play, because that time they were sort of flexing, bending back, and allowing the Seamall short pass, dump pass right over the line of scrimmage to be successful.
For those of you who might have tuned in late, we will tell you that the Heisman Trophy candidate, the All-American Bill Hurley, was injured on a jarring tackle by Reggie Herring way back in the first quarter, and he has not come back onto the field of play. He was taken from the dressing room. We have no report. Here is Fernaski now, the quarterback, and he is smothered behind the line of scrimmage as Walter Carter, number 76, and the nose guard, Ron Simmons, number 50, collaborated to make the tackle. A loss of about 3 yards on the play. It'll be a 3rd and 2 situation. I beg your pardon, there was a loss of about 1.5 yards on the play. So it'll be a 3rd down, another critical situation for the Seminoles, Gene.
Second time this afternoon that the Seminole defense has thrown quarterback Ron Fernaski for a loss.
Let's see now what Fernaski will call. He has a wide receiver left and one to the right, and he's going to be hit and dropped short of first down yardage, and coming over beautifully were Willie Jones. And let's see who got on the bottom of the stack. Ron Simmons, number 50.
Excellent job by Willie Jones containing. He just jumped right over the blocker on that side, who was the tight end, Tony Sidor, and made a fine tackle.
Excuse me, Gene, in case we'll bring that in just a moment. There you'll see a punt now coming downfield, and once again, Keith Jones will handle the ball at the 45-yard line, and he's going to be really smothered, fumbles the ball out of bounds, and there's going to be a flag thrown. We've got a lot of action on the field. Bruce Seamall, the big tight end, was down fast. Keith Jones accepted that football at the 45-yard line, back pedal, trying to get around the onrushing blue jersey Syracuse Orange. Was hit viciously by Seamall, who got through the wall of blockers and knocked him out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And in addition to that, the Seminoles will be penalized, I believe, for a clip.
John Cameron, who put on the jersey over his number 94, made a vicious hit on Keith Jones. And at the point of the tackle, there was a penalty assessed on Florida State.
So the Seminoles will take the ball over at their 29.5-yard line, 1st and 10. Jordan, so far in the ball game, Gene, has attempted 9 passes, completed 5, and we don't have the yardage, but we'll come up with that in just a moment. Okay. When we are set to roll again, it's 7:10 to go in the first half. The Seminoles leading 7-0 here on a beautiful, beautiful day for football. And once again, the Seminoles are going to be assessed this time. Gene, did you pick up the infraction?
I have not picked up the indication by referee Dwayne Danley. It is a 15-yard penalty, a major infraction.
Okay, we've been told by our technical people that they marked it off. So that moves the line of scrimmage to the 24-yard line. Here is Jordan. He hands it off to Johnson. Johnson's short yardage as he comes across the 25, and he is really met by a host of blue jerseys as he brought it across the 25-yard line. Once again, Jim Collins, number 33, leading the charge for the defense.
That's the right side of the defensive line for Syracuse. Behind right tackle John Cameron and right end Bob Tate. Jim Collins plays the weak side linebacker. He has been on numerous tackles already in this ball game. We're at the 6:43 mark in the second quarter. Florida State on top 7-0.
Okay, the ball now at the 27-yard line. It's a 2nd down and 8-yard situation. Jordan back to pass, good protection downfield. He's got his man Grady King at the 42-yard line. King went down on his knee to receive the football. The ball will be down, but it will be another 1st down.
Grady King made sure he caught the football, got down low, pulled it in. It'll be a Seminole 1st down. Here we see Jordan straight drop back. Fine shot of a pass there to Grady King. just over the 42-yard line, near the 43, and Jimmy Jordan's got the Winchester cooking today.
We'd like to say hello to all the boys at the Brothers 3, one of our fine sponsors on today's football. Chris and everybody, Don Long, and a host of people watching the game from the Brothers 3. Here's Jordan, back to pass again, downfield. He shoots, complete to Flowers at the 35. He curls in and gets a couple of more yards, and another tremendous effort by Jackie Flowers.
Arco Payne was burned the first time Flowers went deep. That time he gave him about 5 yards, and he allowed Jackie Flowers to be all alone when he made the reception. Here's Jordan. Drop back to throw. Flowers is there. He's got it. Made sure he caught it at the 35. Fell forward to the 33-yard line. And the Seminoles going through the air have been very successful.
They certainly would like to keep this drive going and put some more points on the board. And I'll tell you, against the Syracuse Orange, you cannot lay down for 1 minute. Here's Jordan once again, a handoff to Johnson, who bulls his way to the 30-yard line. And it'll be short yardage, about 2 yards pickup by the fine little sophomore from Haines City.
Holmes Johnson had picked up 49 yards before that carry, a gain of 2, so he's got 51 yards. And we're at the 5.5-minute mark in the second quarter of play. Florida State moving the ball very well through the air. That should be opening up holes for the running backs, Greg Ramsey, Mark Lyles, and Holmes Johnson. Okay. I think they're going with Holmes Johnson, though, since he has been so impressive.
Okay, Jimmy Jordan now. And there's movement on the offensive line by the Seminoles. Looked like the right tackle came off his stance. That would be Nate Henderson. And let's see, they're conferring, as you can see on your screen. And the Seminoles will be penalized 5 yards for motion.
Syracuse has been assessed 1 penalty for 5 yards. That's a very important penalty, though, because they were about 6 inches away from a first down on third, and they were forced to punt the football. Florida State has picked up a major penalty of 15 yards on that last punt play, and they've picked up several 5-yarders.
Illegal motion against the Seminoles, and it penalized 5 yards. It'll be a situation. Jordan dumps it off to Johnson. Johnson, 35, 30, out of bounds, inside the 30-yard line. That time, Jimmy Jordan, and a tremendous defensive rush by the Syracuse defense, dumped it off in the left flat here on the near sideline to Holmes Johnson, who brought the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, a pickup of about 5 yards on the play.
Good pursuit by the Syracuse defensive team that time. Willie McCullough and Jim Collins, the linebacker and nose guard, respectively. They, along with a couple of other orange and blue jerseyed and helmeted Syracuse Orange defensive players, made that stop. They're really pursuing the football much better now than they were earlier.
Third down. Here's Jordan back to pass downfield. He shoots complete to Flowers to the 24-yard line. A simple look-in pattern as Flowers at the top of the screen there. Came down about 10 yards, curled back, and Jordan hit him right in the letters.
That was a short curl. They needed 10 yards, and here's Flowers. Turns around, makes the reception, holds on to it for his 4th of the afternoon. He has not missed a pass today that I can recall.
There'll be a 4th down and about 2 yards needed, Gene, and I believe the Seminoles are going to go for it right here. Sam Platt, number 29 in the ball game. He'll be at the top of the screen. And at the bottom of the screen will be number 87, Philip Williams. Here is Jordan. Pitch back to Johnson. Reverse off to Platt. Here he comes to the 30-yard line. Running room 25, 20, 15, 10. He's knocked out of bounds at the 9-yard line. A reverse off to Sam Platt, the fine sophomore from Jacksonville.
Key block to break him loose. Ken Lanier, as he tried to turn the corner, the 6'4", 260-pound sophomore out of Columbus, stood there and knocked the intended tackler off his feet. Here's the exchange from Johnson to Sam Platt. The wide out reverse. Platt outruns one man, and here's the block by Lanier, and he gets to the 10-yard, inside the 10-yard line. It's at the 9, and the Seminoles knock on the door again.
A great play called by the Seminole offense there. Sam Platt, the fine little sophomore from Jacksonville, sets up a 1st and goal to go at the 9-yard line. Here's Jordan. Off to Johnson. Johnson bangs at the line of scrimmage for about a yard gain on the play. He had a hole, but it closed up fast as once again, number 55, Willie McCullough, and Jim Collins, number 33, collaborated on the stop.
McCullough was knocked down effectively by Gil Wesley, but the big guy rolled on the ground and tripped up Holmes Johnson as he got to the line of scrimmage, and then Collins was there to slam the door.
They call it no gain on the play. So it'll be a 2nd and goal to go for the Seminoles. Jordan still the quarterback. He's gone all the way for the Seminoles here in the first half. Jordan gets the ball. Back to pass, looking downfield. He shoots. It is intercepted in the end zone by number 24, and he's spilled at the 3-yard line. by the intended receiver, number 22, Holmes Johnson. Terry O'Leary intercepts Jordan, and what a break for the Syracuse Orange.
Phil Williams was in the end zone. It was a curl in the end zone. Watch this. A lot of hand contact between O'Leary and Phil Williams. The pass picked off by O'Leary. He's tripped up at the 2-yard line, and the Orange have stopped Florida State threat.
Gino, a little bit of a mistake on the part of the quarterback, Jimmy Jordan, there, as he tried to force the football into the arms of his intended receiver, Philip Williams, who was covered by Arkelpane on the play. And the Syracuse Orange now take over on a brilliant interception in the end zone, and they have the ball at their 4-yard line. There is a hit of Monk as he comes up to the 5-yard line. Short yardage on the play.
We're not going to see anything fancy inside the 10-yard line.
Jeremy Menlin was one of the gentlemen there on the stop, number 77, a junior.
With 2 1/4 minutes left in the second quarter, the score is Florida State 7, Syracuse nothing. This is WCTV Channel 6, Tallahassee, Thomasville. Glad you're watching our broadcast this afternoon.
2nd and 8 from the 5 now for the Orange. Fernaski is the quarterback. And here's Fernaski rolling to the right side. He's going to be hit, and a flag is thrown as he brings it up for short yardage. It appeared that Ron Simmons, the nose guard for the Seminoles, might have jumped the gun a little bit. Let's see what the officials call it.
Appeared to be the left side of the defensive line. Walter Carter is in there. Ron Simmons at nose guard. I believe Carter was the one that was guilty of jumping. The flag was thrown. The officials are talking to Ron Fernaski, who is the on-field captain at the moment, the quarterback in place of Bill Hurley, who was injured in the first possession by the Syracuse Orange this afternoon. We're inside the 2-minute mark here in the second quarter. It is 7-0 Florida State. The Seminoles had one drive stopped at the 8-yard line on a fine interception by Terry O'Leary.
Gene, the penalty will move the ball to the 10-yard stripe, and it'll be a 2nd down and about 3 yards to go for the Syracuse.
Encroachment on the Seminole defensive line. Illegal procedure.
Fernaski with the ball, short yardage to Hartman, who bangs up to the 14-yard line, but he's met and dropped by number 39, Reggie Herring, along with number 77, Jeremy Menlin.
They're operating out of the stacked backfield with Monk and Hartman along with Mike Jones all stacked up behind the quarterback, and that time Monk followed the blocking of Hartman and Jones, picked up the necessary yardage for the first down. Nothing fancy at all by Syracuse, deep in their own territory, benefiting from an O'Leary interception of a Jimmy Jordan aerial. Jordan tried to thread the needle and get it to Phil Williams in the end zone, but was unsuccessful.
Well, credit that great Seminole defense, Gene. Another fine afternoon here in the first half. Of course, a long way to go yet, but the Seminoles with a 7-0 lead with less than 2 minutes to play. Here is a man in motion. Art Monk to the left side. Fernaski gets the signals. Back to pass. Being pressured somewhat. He's going to be hit and thrown behind the 15-yard line. And once again, Willie Jones, number 88, along with Ron Simmons and another white jersey Seminole in to make the stop on Fernaski. Again, good defensive secondary coverage on the intended receiver downfield.
Willie Jones knocked away or batted away a couple of blockers that tried to get him out of the way, and they just contain that place so effectively when it comes at Willie Jones' side. He is a bona fide All-American candidate and has looked very, very strong at defensive end today.
A loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11. The ball spotted at the 13-yard line of Syracuse. Fernaski gets the ball. Now he hands it off to Hartman. Hartman finds a small hole, but he is pinned down at the 17-yard line. And let's see. Again, I believe Reggie Herring was in on the stop along with Willie Jones and Ron Simmons. The ball at the 17-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down and about 7 to go. The clock ticking away now, 33 seconds to go. And do we have a timeout, Chief?
There is a timeout on the field. 33 seconds left. Florida State containing the Syracuse offense, and they have been successful in doing so, getting stronger as the game goes on. Syracuse deep in their territory, not trying to gamble, not taking any chances. Fernaski has not gone to the air in this series, and quarterback Bill Hurley has been severely missed in this ball game to this point. The offense of Syracuse just not effective without the services of their All-American candidate. He was injured in the first quarter when he was hit hard by weak side linebacker Reggie Herring and defensive end Scott Warren. Herring got him low, Warren got him high on the far sideline, about the 40-yard line, and he did not get up for about 2 minutes. He was assisted off the field, and we have not seen him on the sidelines since that moment. And that occurred with about only 4 minutes gone on the first quarter of this ball game.
Hurley, prior to his injury, Gene, had driven the Syracuse Orange from the opening kickoff down into the Seminole territory on successive first down situations in which the Orange picked up 3. Since that time, since Hurley's injury, the Seminole defense has been able to contain the offensive of the Syracuse Orange. Now then, let's see what Fernaski will do with 3rd and 8 to go. He has a man in motion to the right side. Williams, he's back to pass. Now he looks downfield. He shoots in the flat for Williams. He's going to be hit at the 20-yard line. Porowski, Bonasort, and number 39, Reggie Herring. And let's see if we'll see it again.
Willie Jones got into the backfield, but was well contained by an offensive blocker. The pass was intended and caught by Williams, with a fine tackle made by Paul Porowski. Here's Porowski and Monk Bonasert collaborating to make the tackle.
It was a good block on Willie Jones at that time, and Willie is sort of holding his right hand down on the field right now. I hope it was not a major injury, but he was flexing his fingers to some degree. 24 seconds remaining in the first half. The Seminoles are leading now 7-0 on a brilliant pass play that set up a 1-yard plunge by Jimmy Jordan with 12 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the second period. The only score on a beautiful afternoon for football here in central New York State on the campus of Syracuse University.
Got a capacity crowd of 26,000 here at Archbold Stadium to watch this ball game.
Okay, in single safety now for the Seminoles. Standing at his 47-yard line is Ivory Joe Hunter. The Seminoles tried for a block. Another booming, wobbly spiral that will hit and take reverse English once again and be rolled dead right at the midfield stripe. And the clock is ticking and will be stopped with 13 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. It'll be interesting, Gene, to see if Coach Bowden will try to get one more score or if he'll just simply follow the ball and be content with the first half activities.
Well, George Hafner, the offensive coordinator, doesn't like to fall on the football. We've got 13 seconds to go in the half. And Wally Woodham has come in at quarterback. He takes the place of Jimmy Jordan on this, what could be the final play of the quarter.
It is complete to Bill Keck at the 24-yard line. 6 seconds, and the clock will stop for the first down. Woodham, very cool, moving around in the pocket that time, found his tight end, Bill Keck, the sophomore from Newark, Ohio, and he took it in at the 24-yard line. And I believe we might see
Dave Capellan come in and try a field goal. The T is coming in. The little guy who calls himself Tex, excellent entertainer. He can sing and play the guitar. His favorite music, country music. Likes to sing Jimmy Buffett. We saw him in the rookie night presentation last Sunday evening over at the field house. He'll be attempting a 40-yard field goal. The T will be at the 30, Bill.
Correct. Davey Capellan, a junior from Vero Beach. And he's fastly moving up on the records of field goals kicked at Florida State in his career. We'll get those for you a little later on. Florida State with 8 first downs here in the first half. Syracuse will jam up the middle now and try to block this kick. And let's see if Capellan can do it. He'll have the wind at his back. There's a kick up. It is going to be short and no good. And let's see, the scoreboard clock indicates 1 second remaining here in the first half.
Only 1 second left. The snap prepared to be low. Difficulty getting it up to the tee. Dave Capellan had already gone into his motion to get the foot into it, and the ball was just not placed the way he wanted it to get a lot of foot into the football. He needed maybe 5 more yards to make it through the uprights.
Okay, the Seminoles now give up the football after the missed field goal by Capellan, and of course this year it goes to the original line of scrimmage, and the line of scrimmage will be the 23-yard line with 1 second to go. Fernaski back to pass, looking downfield, being pressured now, breaks out of it, and he's going to be dropped by Arthur Scott at the 27-yard line as time has expired here at Archbold Stadium, and these halftime activities will get underway. The score, Florida State University 7, Syracuse University and long. The deep man is Johnson. He takes it at the 4-yard line, the 10, 15. Small hole, he gets to the 22-yard line, where he is cartwheeled there by number 30 for the Syracuse Orange. So the Seminoles take the second half kickoff. Johnson runs it from the 5 up to the 23-yard line is where they mark the ball. And the Seminoles will have a 1st and 10 from that point.
Statistically, in the first half, Florida State picked up 11 first downs. Syracuse was held to 4. In rushing yardage, Florida State 22 carries for 107. Syracuse 20 for 59.
We'll get back to it. Right now, Jordan looking to pass downfield. He shoots complete to Unglob at the 37-yard line. Right on the money, Gene. And Jimmy Jordan continues to show the fans here at Syracuse that he is indeed a premium passer.
Simple sideline square out by Kurt Unglob, the wide receiver. Jordan hits him right on the fingertips, and sticky-fingered Kurt Unglob brings it in across the 35 at the 38-yard line, where it's a Seminole first down.
Jimmy Jordan now looks over the Syracuse defense. Hands it into Lyles. Big hole. Mark goes across the 45, across the 50, still driving at the 45-yard line. The junior from Buffalo refusing to go down, Mark Lyles. And it appears to be another Seminole first down at the Syracuse 45-yard line.
The initial hit on Mark Lyles was at the 45-yard line, but he brushed that one aside and continued to go. We'll see it again. Here's Lyles. Good hole right through the right tackle slot. Here's the hit at the 45. Continues to barrel forward. He carries tacklers along the way. Bob Tate had him at the 50, but he pulled him forward 5 more.
Okay, let's see what Jordan will do this time. Jordan with the ball, back to pass in the flat. He hits Flowers. Good block by Henderson. Springs Flowers at the 40, and he's down to the 37-yard line. And I believe a flag has been thrown. That good block by Henderson appeared to be a clean block, Gene. However, an official on the spot threw the yellow flag, and I believe a clip is going to be called. Let's watch.
There is Henderson. There's the block by Henderson, Billy, and he got him on the side.
A very questionable call there, but nevertheless, a bad break for the Seminoles as the official on the scene called a clip against the senior captain, Nate Henderson, number 78. So a break for the Orange as the Seminoles again appearing to sustain a very good drive are thwarted when they are assessed 50 yards, and that'll move the ball back into their own territory at the 37-yard line. From the point of the infraction, the ball goes back 15 to the 37-yard line. Now the Seminoles must get to the Syracuse 35-yard line to pick up a first down. It'll be 1st and 28 at that point. Jordan once again gets the ball. This time he hands it off to Johnson. Johnson gets a small hole, and he gets to the 40-yard line and no more. Holmes Johnson, who in the first half racked up 66 yards on the ground, and he's having a fine afternoon.
10 carries for 66 yards in the first half, averaging 6.5 yards per carry, his longest a 19-yard scamper. Good blocking up front, springing him loose for about 5 to 7 every time he carries the football. Incidentally, in the first half, passing for Florida State, Wally Woodham completed 1 pass, but the Tribe 9 of 14 with 1 interception.
Here's Jordan back to pass now. Downfield, he looks. He is going to be hit and snowed under at the 34-yard line. That time, his intended receivers downfield were covered very beautifully by the Syracuse defense, and Jimmy Jordan had to eat the football the first time all afternoon that Syracuse has been able to get to the junior quarterback from Tallahassee, Leon.
I don't know if the whistle had been blown or not, but the ball did squirt loose from Jimmy Jordan as he was hit. It was picked up by Ken Lanier on the ground. I don't think a fumble was charged. Mike Rotunda tried to spear Jordan, and Jordan ducked underneath him. The big 6'1", 230-pound junior thought he had Jordan for a sack, but he managed to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of 4 on the play, 3rd and 32 now. Jordan once again looking to throw the ball, and he does, and he completes it to Grady King at about the 42-yard line. Grady King, the tight end, coming across, receives the football from Jordan. Another pass completion, but not nearly enough, and the Seminoles will have to kick the football away.
Ron Stark's first punt of the 1978 season traveled 58 yards. And he's got a chance to let the leg out this time because he's putting from his own 28 or 29-yard line before he gets his foot into it.
12:31 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Seminoles hanging on to a 7-0 lead over the Syracuse Orange. There is the punt by Stark into the wind. Fair catch called for at the 27-yard line of the Seminole, of the Syracuse Orange. Bob Arthel-Payne received the punt. And once again, the quarterback will be Farleski, coming in for the injured Bill Hurley, who we understand has broken ribs, Gene.
In the passing of Farneski, Hurley completed 1 pass. Farneski has completed 5 of 7. 6 of 8 passing completions for the Syracuse Orange.
31-yard punt by Stark that time, and the Syracuse Orange have the ball at their 27-yard line. Valesky back to pass in the flat. He hits Monk, and he is knocked down at the 34-yard line by Monk Bonasort, along with Ivory Joe Hunter, one of the defensive co-captains for the Seminoles. The flare pass, good for 7 yards on the play. And I am sure that we will see this as a part of the game plan for the Syracuse Orange.
It was only Art Monk's second reception of the afternoon. He caught 1 for 13 in the first half. That one covered some 6 to 7 yards, so he has caught 2 passes. Against Navy last year, he caught 14 Bill Hurley passes.
2nd and 3 for the Orange. The ball at their 34-yard line. Konaski is the quarterback. Gets the ball, runs back to the right side of the option. He's met and dropped. Number 50, Ron Simmons, leading the charge along with Scott Warren. And on the bottom of the stack, number 39, once again, Reggie Herring. Herring has had a good defensive ball game so far, Gene.
Certainly have. Florida State's defense, we mentioned early on, are going to need game experience to adjust, make the adjustments, to get refined and be able to contain the teams they will face in the 1978 season. Today against Syracuse, a big break when Reggie Herring and Scott Warren racked up quarterback Bill Hurley. Broken rib, he will not play another minute today.
31 to go, a critical third down situation for the Seminole defense and equally as well for the Syracuse offense. There is a flat pass. It is no good, as it is short of his intended receiver, Seaball, and it'll bring up a 4th down situation.
Florida State's defense again bends a little bit, but holds. Art Monk's pass reception the only one in that series, so neither team on their first possession of the second half has been able to pick up a first down. Florida State picked up 1, but then had 1 called back because of a clipping infraction.
Double safety for the Seminoles, Hunter and Jones, and that time the Seminoles trying to block that kick. There is Keith Jones, and he calls for he does not call for a fair catch, and he is once again, as he receives the football, snowed under by number 30, down fast to get him for the Syracuse Orange. So the Seminoles unable to move the ball on return yardage this afternoon. That time, Keith Jones, once again, failing to give the fair catch sign, was really hit. And that can be dangerous sometimes, Gene.
I thought he would go for the fair catch that time. Good coverage on the punt by Syracuse.
The Seminoles with the 1st and 10. They're 27. Here is Jordan. Over the middle to Holmes Johnson, 30-yard line. He gets a block, cuts back, and he's going to be stopped at the 34-yard line. Holmes Johnson took that little flare pass right over the middle as he slipped out of the backfield. Tried to find running room, but converging fast was once again number 33, Jim Collins, the linebacker, who played him beautifully. A gain of 8 on the play, and let's watch it again.
Here's Jordan, straight drop back, finds Holmes Johnson just over the line of scrimmage. I think had Holmes continued to go forward, instead of trying to pick up the block of Mark Lyles, he could have picked up maybe 4 or 5 more yards and a first down.
2nd and 3, the ball at the 34-yard line now. Jordan gives the ball to Lyles. Hole left side, 40, 42-yard line. Mark Lyles. And what an afternoon he's having. Let's see, in the first half, Lyles carried the ball 7 times for about 17 yards. However, 1 big run was nullified because of a penalty back in the first half. The bruising crest of the fullback Mark Lyles, a junior from Buffalo, New York. 9 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the third quarter of action. The Seminoles with a 7-0 lead. They have the football at their 43-yard line. Jimmy Jordan now with the flankers to the left side. Jackie Flowers to the right. Phil Williams. Here's Jordan, back to pass, looking downfield. He shoots. It is no good. Incomplete. It was intended for Philip Williams, number 87, and coming in fast, number 24, was 35, John Patterson. And he made a diving stab at trying to intercept that football.
Although he was in the vicinity, too, he has already picked up 1 Jimmy Jordan pass. That time the pass a little underthrown to the intended receiver, Phil Williams, by Jordan.
2nd down now, still 10 yards to go. Pitch back, Johnson. Johnson with blockers, 45, cuts back 50. He's inside Syracuse territory out about the 47-yard line. It's going to be close to a first down. Good blocking on the left side for the little sophomore speedster from Haines City, Holmes Johnson. Tackled by Lee Adams, number 60, excuse me.
Lee Adams and Nate Henderson were opening up the hole for Holmes Johnson on the left side of the line that time.
A good block.
Lee Adams has good speed for a big guy at 263. He gets out and can really scoot down the line and open up holes and get that secondary man, the quarterback of the safety, and break Holmes Johnson loose for more yards.
Another first down. The ball at the Syracuse 47-yard line. The Seminoles driving third quarter. Jordan with the ball up the middle. Johnson, 1 yard. And a fumble. Let's see. The Seminoles retain possession at the 46-yard line. And what a hit did Holmes Johnson take that time. Number 55, Willie McCullough, and number 90 converging on him to make the stop. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Ron Richardson, the left tackle, along with the linebacker, really hit Johnson as he came through what appeared to be a small hole in the middle of the line. 2nd down, 9 to go. Jordan, flags fly. Jordan's going to be hit and dumped way back at the 35-yard line. However, I believe the whistle had blown the play dead, and we'll have to see who the infraction is going to be called against, Gene.
Number 85, Grady King, who was the wide receiver to the right side, the far side of the field, jumped, and you saw him right there in the top corner of the screen, and he jumped just before the ball was snapped. He took the count a little bit early, and 5 yards will be assessed against Florida State. Actually, a big break the whistle had blown, Bill, because Jimmy Jordan was sacked for a loss of 20-plus yards. This time, the infraction will take it back only 5.
Well, so far in the early going here in the third quarter, penalties have been costly to the Seminoles when it appeared that on first possession they were driving what could have been another score. A clipping call on Nate Henderson nullified a long gainer for the Seminoles, and of course the drive stalled. Here's Jordan back to pass again. In the flat, he shoots to Lyles. He's got a little running room. He cuts back to the inside the 40, inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. A flare pass to Mark Lyles in the right flat coming out of the backfield, and the big fullback rambled inside the 40-yard line, and it's going to be very close to a first down. Bob Arkelpay, number 20, on the stop for the Orange. Third down and about a yard needed by the Seminoles. Very crucial third down period. Watch it again.
Mark Lyles is 6'4", 226, gets into the secondary, and Arkelpayne's going to feel that on his shoulder pads. He, along with Jim Collins, made the stop on Lyles, but a big gain for the big guy.
Here's Jordan now, third down situation. In the right flat to Unglob, and Unglob catches the football, enough for a first down. A quick look out, or sort of a Z out to the sideline, and Unglob, with the reception, sets up a first down at the 33-yard line of the Syracuse Orange.
Jimmy only needed 3.5, 4 yards on that particular play to pick up the first down. Unglob made his move, squared out to the far sideline, curled around, made the catch, and it's first down Florida State.
Jimmy Jordan directing the offense, hands it off to Lyles. He's hit, gets to about the 31-yard line. It'll be short yardage, gain of about 1. And I'll say football fans in Seminole land have been waiting for Mark Lyles to break away as a runner, and this could be his year, Gene.
It's 7-0 Florida State with 7:06 left in the third period. Last night, some high school football scores around the Big Bend area. Valdosta beat Crisp County 33-6, and Lowndes still yet to be scored on, won 28-0. So they're 2-0, and two fine teams up in Georgia, and Valdosta playing well.
Second down, 9. Jordan back deep to pass. Over the middle, he shoots, and it's no good. Intended for the tight end. Over the middle, Bill Keck. The ball, once again, was thrown low.
That will bring up another third down play. This time 9 yards needed for Jimmy Jordan and company to remove the football and continue to maintain possession. Dave Capellan has tried one field goal, a 40-yarder. It went short on a low snap of the football. And that was the only field goal attempted today. Florida State scored their only touchdown on a 1-yard dive by Jimmy Jordan. That with 13 minutes left in the second quarter.
Still third and 9. Jordan once again back to pass. In the flat to Lyles, and it's knocked down and almost intercepted in what could have been disaster by the defensive end, Bob Tate, number 96. That time, Jordan tried to dump that little flare pass off to Lyles. The ball was bobbled up into the air, and Bob Tate almost picked it off. And let's see.
Well, ball was again bobbled by Lyles. It was tough his right hand. Here's the bobble, and nearly picked off in midair by Bob Tate. And he managed to get a hold of the football. There was not a person anywhere near him. He could have gone all the way. Well, the Seminoles are going to attempt a 47-yard field goal now with Bill Capice, number 17, the sophomore. There's the placement. It is blocked. It is blocked.
And the Seminoles are scrambling for it. The Syracuse are scrambling for it. The Seminoles have recovered the football at the 40-yard line, and that might have turned things around for the Orange. The first break of this ball game since the early going for the Syracuse Orange, as a blocked field goal try by the Seminoles have given the ball to the Orange at the Seminole 40-yard line. Willie McCullough and Warren Harvey in to block that attempted field goal by Bill Capice.
So the long try for the field goal backfires on Florida State. The best field position of the afternoon for the Syracuse Orange.
First and 10 to go, and of course that brings the crowd alive here at Archbold Stadium. And now as Forneski directs an attack, and he heads it off to his fullback right into the middle of the line. He's met by Jeremy Minland along with Ron Simmons, number 50, and again Paul Porowski, who's having a tremendous ball game at his defensive linebacker spot. Reggie Herring, number 39, calling defensive signals for the Seminoles. He's a sophomore from Brevard County, Florida.
And with the ball at the 37, make it the 38-yard line, just inside the 38-yard line, you're already within the range of the toe of Dave Jacobs. He has kicked him from 58 yards away in his 3-year career here as a place kicker for the Syracuse Orange.
6 minutes to go, third quarter. Syracuse driving on the Seminoles now. Man in motion, top of the screen is Seymour. Here's Forneski, back to pass. He's going to be hit by Simmons. He gets away, and then he falls down as Ron Simmons that time. Forneski unable to find a receiver, and that time down deep he was looking for Art Muck, but he was covered very beautifully by Mike Smith and Bobby Butler. Could not find anybody. Simmons went over the top. Forneski ducked him and scrambled for about 3 yards on the play.
Probably the smartest move that Ron Forneski has made all day was to duck underneath hard-charging Ron Simmons and prevent being plastered in his backfield by Ron.
3rd and 7 now. A big third down play for the Orange. Man in motion to the bottom of your screen. Art Muck once again. Forneski fading back. Downfield, he shoots. It is no good. Intended for Muck in the flat at the 30-yard line. He slipped, tried to contain the football, but could not receive it. So here comes number 1, Gene.
It was also very frightening, if you noticed on that particular play, Billy, there was not a soul around Art Monk. That was in the vicinity of Mike Smith's area of coverage as the left cornerback, but he was nowhere near Art Monk. Had Monk caught the football, he would have picked up good yardage and gotten it closer for the toe of Dave Jacobs. 37 of 78 in his career, only 22 misses from most of those.
The ball will be spotted on the 44-yard line, Gene. He'll be kicking into a win. If good, it will be a 54-yard. It looks to me like it's going to be short, and it is. Right under the goal post. So the Seminole defense is held once again. Gene?
You can't come much closer than that. What I was mentioning, he has completed or been successful 37 of 78 times in his career. Of the missed field goal tries, 22 of those have been from beyond the 50-yard mark. And that means that that one makes it number 23 for Dave Jacobs in missing field goals, but he came so close. Give it another yard, and he'd have had 3 for the Syracuse Orange.
Well, at this point, with 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining third quarter play, Coach Bobby Bowden sends in his number 2 quarterback, Wally Whittam, who came in briefly before halftime and took the Seminoles downfield. Wally is in there right now replacing Jimmy Jordan at quarterback. Here is Whittam, back to pass, downfield, shoots in the flat. It is complete to Johnson, 50-yard line, inside the 45-yard line of Syracuse. So Wally Whittam gets the job done. Another first down for the Seminoles, no flags. The ball will be just inside the Syracuse 45-yard line.
Wally Whittam is 2 for 2 on the afternoon. So far, a perfect day for the junior out of Tallahassee. Leon drop back, throws it to Holmes Johnson out of the backfield, picks it up and goes for 10 more, 12 yards before he's barreled down. And it's a Seminole first down inside Orange territory.
45 yards to pay dirt for the Seminoles. Wally Whittam directing the attack now. Marks the signals, gets the ball, hands it to Johnson, small hole, 40-yard line inside the 40 at the 39. Goes the sophomore from Haines City. What an afternoon he's having, stepping into the shoes of Larry Key.
4.5 minutes left in the third period. Florida State is on top 7-0. The only field goal try of the afternoon by Syracuse fell about a yard short. The Seminoles have tried 2 field goals. One fell short by Capellan. The other try by Capice was blocked and set up a try by Dave Jacobs. The only score on the ball game with 13 minutes left in the second period when Florida State scored on a Jimmy Jordan dive.
Whittam gets the ball, has difficulty. He's going to eat the ball at the 45-yard line. He almost dropped the football as he backed up from the line of scrimmage. Apparent passing play, and as he faded back, he had trouble with the football, Gene, and he was smeared back there at the 47, 43-yard line, call it.
Here again, you take a chance when you bring in a second signal caller as Wally Woodham. Gil Wesley, an All-South Independent preseason pick. Last year, All-South Independent performer at center. Still, no matter how talented you are, there is a distinct difference between Jimmy Jordan and Wally Woodham in how they receive the center snaps. So that time, a little difficulty in handling the exchange from center to quarterback.
Third and about 8.5 to go for the Seminoles now. Big third down play. Here is Woodham back to pass. He's being pressured downfield. He shoots. It's a little bit too far. Jackie Flowers had his man beat at the 25-yard line, but tremendous Syracuse defensive pressure put on by Jim Collins, the blitzing linebacker, hit Woodham just as he released the football, and the ball was overthrown to Flowers at the 25-yard line. So the Syracuse defense holds, and the Seminoles will again kick it away.
Jimmy Jordan was hit twice on that Wally Woodham was hit twice on that particular offensive series, and every time Wally gets hit, you have to ask the question, will the knee hold up? Knee surgery during the offseason for Wally Woodham.
Here is Stark, and he gets a wobbly spiral coming upfield and taken right there. And a penalty is going to be called against the Seminoles. A fair catch had been called for by Art Monk at the 16-yard line, and an overeager Seminole came in and touched the ball carrier. Let's watch it again, Gene.
High spiraling kick by Ron Stark. He's had a great day punting the football. And we have contact as Monk calls for the fair catch, and I believe the number is 57. Keith Baker down on punt coverage, over anxious, connected his helmet to the helmet of Art Monk, and that was the only contact made, but it was enough to bring the flag out of the pocket and the 15-yard assessment against Florida State.
There have only been 2 turnovers in the ball game. One on an intercepted pass in the end zone that stymied a Florida State thrust in the first half, and of course the blocked punt a few minutes ago by Syracuse. They have the ball now at their 31-yard line, 1st and 10 to go. Forneski, quarterback. He ends it off number 47. He's stacked up right in the middle of the line. First man to hit him was number 50, Ron Simmons. Jim Morris replacing Dennis Hartman at running back. So Morris stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Give him maybe a half yard on the play. Call it 2nd and 10. The ball just across the 31, between the 31 and the 32-yard line. The Seminoles leading 7-0, hanging on here with 2:48 to go in the third period from Syracuse, New York, on the campus of SU. 2 wideouts at the bottom of your screen with a man in motion right side. Forneski back to pass in the flat. He's got his man Williams, and he's knocked down at the 38-yard line by Ivory Joe Hunter. Once again, they're going up into this flare pass patterns.
Good containment by Ivory Joe Hunter. He stuck with his man. He followed him all the way across on the behind the defensive line of scrimmage. There were 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Here comes Williams. Jones in motion. The pass by Forneski is complete and tripped up as he caught the football, Mike Jones, but there were 2 other receivers that had gone deep, and that put a lot of pressure on this new defensive secondary for Florida State. Good play by Ivory Joe Hunter.
Number 29 is in the ball game. We'll pick up his name for you in just a moment. There is a man in motion top of the screen. That's Seymour. Here is Forneski passing downfield. He's got his man at the 46-yard line of the Seminoles. And that would be number 29, I believe, and I don't have his name, Gene. I'll look it up real quick. But he was wide open. Forneski, with a lot of time, hit his receiver.
Here we go. Forneski, a good scrambling quarterback, gets his receiver, and a first down for the Syracuse Orange.
And once again, Syracuse knocking in Seminoles territory. The ball at the 46-yard line. Forneski using his air arm now. And once again, back pedals, looking downfield, shoots. It is almost intercepted as the ball was thrown high. Keith Jones came in and was looking for an interception, but the ball was thrown high and over his head too, so to no avail.
Brian Ishman wears number 29, Bill, and we don't have him in our 2 deeps or 3 deeps because he is listed as a defensive back. But Coach Frank Connolly has brought in Brian Ishman as a wide receiver.
And he's at the bottom of the screen right now, way out about 20 yards outside of his offensive right tackle. Forneski, 2nd and 10 to go. Downfield, it's incomplete as he attempted to get it to Hartman. But boy, rushing very fast on the play and almost with the quarterback sacked was number 76, the junior from Richmond, Walter Carter.
Walter Carter, the hammer, and he laid Farneski on his back. That time, nearly a sack of the quarterback, as Farneski just had to get rid of it in a hurry. No chance of a pass completion. The ball was thrown right at the foot of an intended receiver. Good pass rush that time by the Seminoles, the best pass rush we've seen in the second half of play.
Third down once again now. Number 29 Ishman is to the near sideline. And let's see what Farneski will call this time. The quarterback replacing Heisman Trophy candidate Hurley. He's going to be hit by Carter again at the 45-yard line. Let's see, I see a red flag, a yellow flag rather. And it appeared the two Seminoles might have jumped off sides.
It appeared to be Willie Jones on this particular play, on the tackle rather, but Jones also moved on the right side of the screen. May have encroached across the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. It'll be a 5-yard assessment against Florida State.
Well, another bad break for the Seminoles, as it appeared that Walter Carter had sacked the quarterback about 15 yards behind his line of scrimmage, but two Seminole interior linemen were guilty of encroachment, as you called it, Gene, and the Seminoles are penalized 5 yards. The ball will be at the Seminole 41-yard line. We'll keep this drive alive now with a third down, 5-yard situation for the Orange. With a minute 15 to go, third quarter. Monk and Seamall at the bottom of your screen. Let's see what Farneski calls. Man in motion to the right side is Ishman. Here is Farneski, back to pass, rolling wide to the right. He is going to be hit and dropped by three white jersey Seminoles led by Arthur Scott, Reggie Herring, and Ron Simmons, number 50. And he loses 2 yards on the play, and the Seminole defense has held again. Coming into the ball game, Coach Bobby Bowden, we rode in the same car with Bobby coming to the stadium, and he said the defensive line has got to put pressure on the quarterback. They have not been doing it in this quarter, and Farneski has been finding receivers. That puts too much pressure on the defensive secondary. That double safety for the Seminoles now. And there is a wobbly spiral. It will hit at the 5-yard line. It's going to be down, I believe, at about the 1 or 2 yard line. A great kick and a good effort by the covering Syracuse Orangemen as they down the football at the Seminole 2-yard line. Excellent punt by Goodwill. He's got a good toe, and it's been a battle of kicking today. The punting of Starr against the punting of Goodwill. And that time, a good bounce on the ball. It's bounced high into the air and was down at the 1-yard line by about 5 Syracuse Orange. And the Seminoles are deeper into their territory than they have been all afternoon. At the 2-yard line, and this is the, I guess you might say, the poorest field position they've had all afternoon, Gene, as a good kick by Goodwill backs the Seminoles up to their 2-yard line. 98 yards to go to the land of milk and honey. Here is Jordan back to pass. Downfield, he shoots a long one. It is no good at the 40-yard line, intended for Jackie Flowers. And that's the confidence that Coach Bobby Bowden has in the passing arm of Jimmy Jordan. Jimmy Jordan with the arm threw it high in the air, covered some 45 to 50 yards. We'll see it from the 1-yard line. Jordan will drop deep into the end zone, fake the handoff, and throw long to Jackie Flowers. Here's Flowers ahead of his receiver, but could not get to the football, which was slightly overthrown. That same particular pass play worked so effectively 2 years ago for 97 yards when Jordan hit Unglob for the longest touchdown pass on record at Florida State. Second down now, the ball at the Seminole 2-yard line. A handoff to Lyles, a little running room as he pulls his way up to about the 4-yard line, where it'll bring up a third down and about an 8-yard situation. The Syracuse defensive line has come into the second half very fired up. Frank Connolly counting on them to put a lot of pressure on Jimmy Jordan. And down deep, they have really risen to the occasion. They have stopped Florida State on 2 plays. It is 3rd down and 8, and the Seminoles need to get a first down down here. The wind will be at their back, fortunately, should they have to punt, but Ron Stark will be punting from deep in his own end zone. Well, it'd be very interesting now to see if Jordan, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter with the score at Syracuse, Florida State 7, Syracuse. It's a 7-0 ball game here at Archbold Stadium. Florida State on top. The only score on the ball game came with 13 minutes left in the 2nd quarter when Jimmy Jordan dove in from 1 yard away after a fine circus catch that covered 41 yards from Jordan to Flowers. Now the Seminoles are deep in their own territory, facing a 3rd and long situation. Billy? Okay, Jordan once again back to pass, looking downfield. He shoots. It is complete to Unglob. 20-yard line, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's out of bounds at the 30, 43-yard line. No penalty flags that I can see from here. Kurt Unglob
curled, got the pass at the 25 to 30-yard line, and picked up some very important yardage after he caught the football.
Watch it again, Gene.
Here's Jordan. He's back in his end zone, ungloved. The sticky-fingered guy gets it, spins around, gets around the intended defensive ball player, and carries it down to the 45-yard line before he's 40-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. So the call from Jimmy Jordan to Kurt Ungloved. The tribe out of a jam, and they've got good field position now.
1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Jimmy Jordan, the Winchester rifle, gets the ball. He hands it off to Johnson. Small hole, 50, 45-yard line, 40-yard line, 35-yard line. He's out of bounds inside the 35-yard lines of Syracuse. Holmes Johnson, the sophomore from Haines City.
Pick him apart through the air as Jordan just did to Ungloved, and that time the little delay handoff to Holmes Johnson, and here we'll see it again. Here's the handoff. Johnson gets behind the blocking of Lee Adams. Good block there. Comes to the outside. Picks up to the 40, to the 35, and finally his momentum carries him out of bounds. But he is a speedster. 4.5 40 time. He's probably the quickest running back on the Seminole squad, and that time the speed really showed.
27-yard gainer. 27 yards by Holmes Johnson. The ball now at the 33-yard line of Syracuse. Jimmy Jordan directing the attack. Flanker, top of the screen. Flowers, handoff to Lyles. Lyles right side, 30, driving inside the 25 at the 24. Big Mark Lyles, number 48. Following that up of about 9 on the play, Gene.
Fine run by Holmes Johnson that picked up some 20 yards. He has had a leg injury. He's laying down on his back. Trainer Doc Falls and John Money working on the leg, but now he's up. Just wanted to make a spot check on the condition of Holmes Johnson.
Holmes Johnson has a calcium deposit on one of his legs, and it's been giving him a little bit of trouble, but up until now, he must be close to 100 yards rushing. Gene, we'll check that out for you. 2nd down, ball to Lyles. Lyles, 20-yard line. He's pulling his way at the 15-yard line. Goes Mark Lyles. And Johnson is okay, apparently. He's coming back onto the field, replacing Keith Kennedy.
Florida State's offensive line really putting on a show now, opening the time. Lyles gets the call. Look at that fine block by Lee Adams. Open the hole up for Mark Lyles, picks up the necessary yardage for the first down, and the Seminoles, who began this drive on their own 2-yard line, are now inside the Syracuse 20 at the 15.
13:44 to go in this ball game. The Seminoles 7-0 over the Syracuse Orange. Pitch back to Johnson. Johnson 15-10 inside the 10-yard line goes Holmes Johnson. He had 66 yards coming into the second half, Gene, and 27-yard a while ago, and he's going to be close to 100 yards.
And again, super guard Lee Adams leading the way that time for the outside run of Holmes Johnson. And I can't help but think, Bill, that the two-a-days in the hot sun of Tallahassee, Florida, has perhaps made a difference in the condition of these two lines facing one another right now, early in the fourth quarter.
Here is Jordan to Johnson. Johnson at the 6-yard line. A gain of about 2 on the play. Had a small hole, but the linebackers once again came in to pitch him in. Jim Collins, along with Mike Rotunda, the defensive left tackle on the Syracuse Orange team. They stacked him up at the, call it the 7-yard line, pick up a 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down, I believe, and about 2 yards to go. The Seminoles can pick up a first down inside the 5-yard line. They have 2 chances to do so. They are 7 yards from pay dirt. 12:30 to go in the ball game. Seminoles trying to add to their 7-0 lead. Here's Jordan to Lyles. He bucks in across the 5-yard line, and it's going to be another first down. No flags. The play will stand. Gene?
Right up the middle, Gil Wesley, Lee Adams on the right side of the through, and he picks up the first down. It's 1st and goal, Florida State, with a 7-0 lead. The Seminoles need to score again because Syracuse offensively has been... They've adjusted to the quarterbacking of Ron Farneski, who is replacing the injured Bill Hurley.
Phil Williams comes in to bring the play from the bench, replacing Kurt Ungloved. Jackie Flowers is the only flanker. He is to the right. Here is a touchdown pass to Grady King, the tight end, as Jordan faking into the line. A little play action right over the middle to the tight end, Grady King. He was all alone in the end zone, Gene, and the Seminoles have scored.
He stood the linebackers, Jim Conley and Jim Collins, up. They had to look for the run because of the good fake by Jordan to Lyles. Here's the pass, dumped over the line of scrimmage to Grady King, and he's all alone in the end zone, makes the reception. Touchdown, Florida State. It's 13-0.
And Davey Capella now will attempt to add the 14th point for the Seminoles at 11:50 11:54 to go in the fourth and final period. There's the placement. The kick is up, and it's perfect. And as the teams come back upfield, the score, Florida State 14, Syracuse nothing. On safety coming up fast, Monk Bonasort.
Defensive pursuit that time. With the flow of the football, Monk, the strong safety, Herring, the weak side linebacker, and Scott Warren containing the run around the end. All three effective that time and containing.
Well, they're talking to the co-captains of the Seminoles. Apparently, the infraction is going to be against the Orange.
It appeared to me to be a motion penalty on one of the running backs.
Okay, the ball at the 22-yard line, and I believe the Seminoles have refused the motion penalty. Taking the down, that's exactly what happened. Second down, 8 yards to go now. At the top of the screen is Ishman, number 29. He is flanked wide at the top of the screen. Here's Fanaski back to pass, being pressured by Carter. Over the middle, it's complete to Monk, but right on the situation is number 39, Reggie Herring. What a ball game he's played.
Reggie Herring has been involved in practically every one of those dump passes over the line of scrimmage. Art Monk made only his third reception of the afternoon. He has been well contained by the linebackers because last year the play that was so effective was the little dump pass over the line of scrimmage from Bill Hurley to Art Monk. He's a running back at 202. When he catches the ball on the secondary, he can scoot.
Third down situation for the Seminoles, and at this point we have a timeout on the field of play with the score, Florida State 14, Syracuse nothing.
Syracuse versus Florida State. Syracuse called the timeout. It's a 14-0 ball game. Florida State on top. Farneski replaced Hurley in the first quarter. He's in a quarterback.
3rd and 7 now. Farneski back. A deep pass pattern way downfield. It is almost intercepted by Mike Smith. And only a last-ditch effort by Art Monk kept Mike Smith from intercepting that pass. A good defensive effort by little Mike Smith, the sophomore from Panama City, Florida.
Double coverage that time. Bobby Butler was over, along with Mike Smith. Farneski tried to go with a long bomb, did not have the arm. Smith had an opportunity for an interception. It slipped through his fingers.
As you saw right there on the replay. And once again, the Syracuse Orange will punt the ball, and not a very good kick off the side of his foot. Takes reverse English and comes back upfield. The Seminoles will be in great field position with the ball at the Syracuse 42.
Mentioned just a moment ago that Farneski replaced starting quarterback Bill Hurley. It occurred on the 7th play of the ball game when Hurley tried to run the option around the right side, went to the far sideline, was racked up by Reggie Herring and Scott Warren. That sent him out of the ball game. We found out at halftime that Hurley suffered a broken rib, will miss the rest of the ball game, may miss next week's ball game too. The injury is that serious. Florida State since that time has picked up 2 touchdowns, one with 13 minutes left in the second quarter when Jordan dove in from 1 yard away, and the other touchdown just a moment ago with 11:54 left when Jordan found Grady King in the end zone for another Seminole TD.
Wally Woodham now at quarterback for the Seminoles. The ball at the 43-yard line. Here's Woodham back to pass downfield. He shoots. He's got his man, and let's see, it is no good. No good at the 30-yard line as Bill Keck, the tight end, apparently had the ball in his grasp and his feet slipped out from under him. He juggled the ball, and the official on the scene called it no completion. So Woodham, carrying on the tradition that Jimmy Jordan has done most of the afternoon, went to the air, found Keck open at the 30, but no pass completion. It'll be 2nd and 10, Gene.
That is the first incompletion thrown by Wally Woodham today. He is 2 for 3 on the afternoon, has seen limited action. Last time Wally was in there, he got racked pretty hard trying to scramble away and find a receiver. The knee is holding up, though. That's good news.
Here's Woodham now with Williams, flanker near side, and Platt to the left side. Holmes Johnson, running room, left side, around the corner, 40, 35, cuts back, out of bounds. At the 30-yard line, a yellow flag on the play, and I believe it's going to be against Syracuse for a late hit. Let's see. And we'll watch it again, Gene.
Great speed by Holmes Johnson. I think he's earned a starting nod for next week's ball game against Oklahoma State. Here's the pitch out. Woodham to Holmes Johnson. Angles toward the sideline. Gets around the outside secondary and is knocked out of bounds finally. And I believe that the penalty that time will be charged to Terry O'Leary, who hit him after he was out of bounds. Personal foul it will be, and will have 15 yards further toward the Syracuse goal line, assessed by the officials.
I believe it'll be half the distance, Gene. Let's see, the infraction occurring at the 29-yard line. Let's see. It should take it down to the 14-yard line, and that's exactly where the referee spots the ball.
O'Leary has made the only interception of this ball game. That in the end zone as the Seminoles were knocking on the door. That time, over anxious to make a hit, and he was out of bounds when he hit Holmes Johnson, who just picked up a big first down for the Seminoles, and he can really carry the football. We had him unofficially with 106 yards before he ran that time.
Wally Woodham now, the quarterback. Woodham at the 14-yard line, hands it off to Jones. This time not much running room as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but a lot of blue jerseys led by number 63, Mike Rotunda. And again, the nose guard, Willie McCullough, and he's had a great defensive afternoon. No gain on the play. It'll be, as a matter of fact, I believe they say he lost a yard. They spotted at the 15-yard line. Jackie Flowers replaces Sam Platt at a wide receiver post for the Seminoles. Greg Ramsey started at tailback for the Seminoles, and I don't know whether he's injured or what, but Johnson's having such a fantastic afternoon. He's been in there the whole ball game, Gene. Ball at the 15-yard line. Wally Woodham gets the ball. Back to pass. Looking downfield. Shoots in the end zone. Touchdown, Jackie Flowers.
14-yard pass. Jackie Flowers had a couple of steps on the defensive back, and Wally Woodham lays it in there perfectly.
So Woodham gets the Seminoles on the scoreboard.
We'll see it again. Here's Woodham. Sets up. Got a hit just as he released the ball. Flowers in the end zone scores the 6-pointer.
A 15-yard touchdown pass from Wally Woodham to Jackie Flowers, and Gino, Jackie Flowers certainly has had a fine afternoon receiving passes.
I was just going to comment, when Jackie came in and replaced Sam Platt, he caught 4 passes in the first half, but in the second half has caught only 1. That was his 6th reception of the ball game, his first TD.
Let's watch the point attempt now. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good as the teams come back up the field. The Seminoles breaking it open here in the 4th and final stanza. The score, Florida State 21, Syracuse nothing.
Deep man by about 3 yards and pulled it in as Wally Woodham hung it high and dropped it right into his lap.
Art Muck and Warren Carter back deep now to receive the kickoff. It's Carter at the 4-yard line. He starts 10, 15, 20, gets a hole. One Seminole misses him, and then a jarring tackle. Yellow flag goes down, and I believe a clip called against Syracuse. And number 54, I believe it was Arthur Scott. Arthur Scott, the sophomore from Tampa, along with Paul Porowski, number 53, on the stop as the ball carrier, Carter, moved the ball up to the 34-yard line. A clip has been called against number 54 for the Syracuse Orange, and the Seminoles will take advantage of the infraction. It will be moved back downfield, and will call the spot where the ball is marked. Gene?
Yeah, that clip occurred on Ivory Joe Hunter, who was knocked off his feet and got up limping. Joe Hodges, who plays on the Syracuse specialty teams, was charged with the infraction. He is that number 54 you pointed out, and he hit Ivory Joe from behind. Ivory Joe Hunter is up, though, and apparently no damage done to Hunter, co-captain for the Florida State Seminoles in '78. He was voted by his teammates as defensive captain.
9 minutes, 58 seconds to go in the 4th and final quarter. The Seminoles now showing a 21-0 margin over the Syracuse Orange. Forneski with the ball at their 16-yard line. Leads the Syracuse. He fumbles the ball, but he falls on it at the 14-yard line. Walter Carter slammed his hand to the earth. He had a chance for the football, and Arthur Scott was the man covering. And I'll say, Gene, the defensive tackle play has really looked good for the Seminoles here this afternoon.
Certainly has, and Arthur Scott had an opportunity that time to pick up the loose football as Farneski tried to pick it up, but wisely fell on it before Scott could get there.
A loss of 2 now. It'll be 2nd and 12. The ball at the 13.5-yard line. Man in motion to the right side. Here's Forneski back to pass. Looks downfield. He shoots. It is incomplete. Way over the head of the intended receiver, number 80, Mike Jones. And this is Jones's first appearance. He was listed as the starting wide receiver, Gene, but he has been suffering from a leg injury and has not played much here this afternoon.
Jones was in motion, and apparently Farneski thought he was going to go down toward the middle part of the field. However, he angled toward the far sideline. The pass was near no one, and it fell incomplete, bringing up a 3rd down. Deep in Syracuse territory, Farneski has not had much go right the last 2 series.
3rd and 12. Ball at the 13.5-yard line. Forneski back to pass once again at the 5-yard line, being pressured. He breaks out of there. He's to the 10, the 15, and Reggie Herring knocks him off his feet as he comes to the 18-yard line.
Good containment by Scott Warren. Farneski had to come back inside Scott Warren, and there was Reggie Herring to lower the hammer and bring him down. 4th down. It is a punting situation for the Syracuse Orange. His time continues to roll down with 8:57 left in the 4th quarter. It's a 21-0 Florida State ball game, and the Seminoles will get it back and have another opportunity.
Goodwill will punt the football, almost blocked in there. Not too good a punt, but he does get a good roll as it rolls out of bounds at the Syracuse 45-yard line. You know, Gene, you can talk about Willie Jones, of course, an All-American if there ever was one, but Scott Warren, number 80, a tremendous defensive end.
Scott Warren came within inches of blocking Goodwill's last punt offering. That was the body you saw flying between the toe and the football, but Scott Warren missed it just a moment, or just by about 4 inches, I'd say. The punt did get a good Syracuse roll, but still it's in their territory. The Seminoles with excellent field position at the 46.
The ball spotted at the 45.5-yard line. Here's Woodham back pass. Good protection over the middle. He shoots complete to Kennedy. Kennedy at the 40 is wrestled down at that point. So Keith Kennedy receives the pass from Wally Woodham. Woodham now is 3 of 6 for 37 yards.
Here's the replay on that
seconds
play.
remaining in this
Kennedy just drifts over the line of scrimmage.
Seminoles on top, 21-0. Of course, the big play and a big break for the Seminoles, a bad break for the Syracuse Orange on the 7th play from scrimmage. Bill Hurley, potential Heisman Trophy candidate, certainly an All-American, going out with cracked ribs. Unfortunate for the Syracuse Orange. Wally Woodham hands it in to Gator Cherry, number 31. A yellow flag flies. Could be an offensive holding charge against the Seminoles. Gene?
Well, as most of the 26,000 in attendance remain seated, fans begin to file out of Archbold Stadium here. Their team down 21-0. As the fans begin to leave, Coach Bobby Bowden begins to unload his bench and bring in the second stringers. And right now we've got the entire second string offensive line, which includes Greg Futch and Tom Brannan at the line, at the tackle slots, Jeff Field and Brent Brock at the guards, and John Madden at center. And the running backs, it's William Cherry and Keith Kennedy. The wideouts are Grady King, Phil Williams, and Sam Platt.
Bill Keck now has replaced King at tight end, and of course Coach Bowden, as we told you, has been using his tight ends as messengers in this ballgame. The ball at the Syracuse 45-yard line, 2nd and 10 to go for the Seminoles. Woodham is the quarterback. Here's a pitch back to Kennedy, reverse off to Platt. Here comes Platt, 45-yard line, 40-yard line, 35, 30, 25, out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And again, that reverse works.
Had to chase him down. Sam Platt nearly scored another 6 for Florida State. Fine call by George Hefner, offensive coordinator. We'll see it again. Here's the pitch back. It goes to Kennedy. He exchanges with Sam Platt. Fine block coming up here. Look at this one by Ken Lanier. Opens up Platt for another 15 yards before he's finally knocked out of bounds by Jim Collins. Collins has played all over the field today. He has been a bright spot for the Syracuse defensive team, the weak side linebacker.
27-yard scamper that time, Gene. First down, ball at the 18-yard line. Woodham, quarterback. Here's Woodham, handoff Cherry. Cherry back across the green inside the 10-yard line. He's driving to the 8-yard line. William Cherry, as he prefers to be known.
William Cherry, he was introduced on Wednesday at the kickoff luncheon, not Gator Cherry, and we'll take another look. Here's Cherry, straight handoff with a good trap block. That breaks him free through the line of scrimmage, and he picks up nearly enough yards for a first down. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Seminoles inside the 10-yard line of the Syracuse Orange, and the Tribe wants one more. It's 21-0 if you've just joined us, and it's been some second half for Florida State.
Wally Woodham now. Wide out, top of the screen is Sam Platt. Here is Woodham. Woodham off to the ball to Cherry. He's going to score. Beautiful blocking on the right-hand side. A 9-yard burst by William Gator Cherry. And the Seminoles have increased the lead to 27-0 with 7:01 to go.
Cherry has looked so impressive in preseason practice, particularly in scrimmages. Where can you find a place to put him into the ball game? Holmes Johnson has had a whale of an afternoon. He comes in the later moments of the ball game and scampers in for a touchdown. And that gives the Seminoles a 27-0 lead with 7:01 left in the ball game, and that time it looked too easy for Florida State's offensive unit.
What blocking, Gene? I tell you, we can't give enough credit to that Seminole offensive line today. They have really moved these bigger Syracuse defensive stalwarts right out of there, and the Seminoles have amassed some yardage. The extra point's good as the teams come back upfield. The score: Florida State 28, Syracuse nothing.
It's a 28-0 ball game. Florida State has just scored with 7:01 left. Untouched into the end zone, scampered William Cherry to add the 4th touchdown on the scoreboard. And Florida State has just kicked off. The toe of Capiz kicked it into the end zone. Warren Harvey ran it back to the 26. And that is where the Syracuse Orange will set up with a 1st and 10.
The new quarterback now for the Orangemen, it'll be Tim Wilson, third-string quarterback. He hands it off to his trailing back. No, he slips it in, and he goes to the option to the right side. But the Seminole defense not fooled as Willie Jones led the charge, along with Reggie Herring and Jeremy Menlin. Monk Bonasorte has had one tremendous ball game at strong safety. He's played a good ball game, Gene.
Series, the Seminole offense had gone to the second unit, but the Seminole defense is still first unit strong. They need all the experience they can get for a very rugged 10 more games left on the schedule.
Ball at the 28-yard line now. Second down, 8 to go for the Orangemen. Wilson, the quarterback, gets the ball. Option to the right side, hole, and he moves the ball up close to a first down as he noses the ball over the 35-yard line. The stop in there by Borowski at the linebacker post. Incidentally, for those of you back in Tallahassee who want to know what time the Seminoles will be coming back into Tallahassee International Airport, it will be approximately 7:35.
Tim Wilson on a little misdirection that time. Everybody was coming to the left side. He went to the outside of the option. He's going to carry the football. He's an option quarterback.
3rd and 1, and Mr. Simmons welcomes him to Archbold turf. As that time, the big sophomore from Warner Robins sacks his quarterback for a big 5-yard loss. Gene?
Let's take another look at it. Ron Simmons, the nose guard, middle of your screen, throws off a tackle, and with his quickness gets through to Barrow. Tim Wilson, and knock him down for a loss. The first quarterback sack of the afternoon for the Seminoles.
4th down. Once again, Goodwill back in punt formation, 15-yard line. There's his punt. And the spinner is going to hit at the 45, take reverse English back into Syracuse territory. They are trying to down the football. They finally do at the 39-yard line. And let's see where they're going to mark it up.
That ball hit at the Seminole 45-yard line, took a reverse bounce back across midfield, and I believe was touched by a Syracuse Orangeman somewhere near that 40-yard line. It is at the 39-yard line of Syracuse. Florida State again in excellent field position. The score is 28-0 with 5:09 left in the ball game, and Florida State could pick up another 6 right here.
Well, let's see now if the Seminoles will stay on the ground, if they are content to grind it out, use the clock, or if the charges of Coach Bobby Bowden will try and get another score. Ron Hester now is a tight end into the ball game, 3rd-string tight end. Here is Woodham, pitch back to Kennedy. Kennedy bobbles the ball, cuts back, 35, inside the 35 at the 34. So the junior from Red Bay, Alabama, getting his first chance to run the football.
When you say, will the Seminoles hold back, Coach Bobby Bowden has put in his 3rd team backfield. That includes Gator Cherry and Keith Kennedy. But the Seminoles continue to pick up good gains. That a 5-yard gain by Keith Kennedy, bobbling the football. So you have to give credit to the offensive line and perhaps the conditioning of Florida State in 3 weeks of strenuous two-a-day drills back in hot, humid Tallahassee. And here on the field at Archbold Stadium, the conditioning has paid off.
Wally Woodham is your quarterback now. 2nd down and about 5 yards to go. Here's Woodham back to pass downfield. He shoots a long one, intended for Platt, and almost intercepted in the end zone. Platt and the defensive back, number 18, Hinton, were fighting for the football. Each had a chance, and then finally falling incomplete. Wally Woodham tried down situation.
Wally tried to go deep on that one. The pass was a little bit underthrown. Hinton had good position for perhaps an interception. Sam Platt went up into the air at the same time, nearly took it away from Hinton, and Hinton batted it out of the end zone.
3rd down, a little over 5 yards to go now. Woodham calls the signals. The ball at the Syracuse 34-yard line. Here's Woodham. He hands it off to Kennedy, and he's going to be smacked for a loss back at the 36-yard line.
A little bit of a change in the defensive alignment by the University of Syracuse. That time, Bob Arkelpane came up and, in effect, was a 3rd linebacker right along the line of scrimmage, trying to contain a short dump pass, and also applied a lot of pressure on the defensive line right there to stop that play in its tracks. Keith Kennedy had nowhere to go when he got the football.
Once again, Gene, it's been that old familiar Big D this afternoon. The Big D defense all the way for the Seminoles, and a very fine offensive effort also in this ball game. Stark will stand back at the Syracuse 49, try to angle that ball out of bounds. He kicks it high. It's going to hit at the 3 and go into the end zone for an automatic touchback. Syracuse will take over now with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining at their 20-yard line. Well, I guess everybody at the Brothers 3 restaurant, one of our fine sponsors, where they're having one of the big football watching parties in Tallahassee, are very pleased with the outcome of today's ball game. Of course, the head man there, Chris, has been talking about, oh, you're going to go up there and you're going to blow them out. And nobody, I don't think, including certainly you and I, Gene, ever thought that this would happen here today.
We thought it'd be a lot closer.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Orangemen now. The ball set up at their 20-yard line. Wilson is the quarterback. A fumble. Man scrambles, 20-yard line. Let's see. I believe Syracuse retains possession. Arthur Scott scrambling for the ball, as was Paul Borowski. But Wilson falls on the football, and it'll be just a loss of a down. 2nd and 10.
Florida State preserves their preseason top 20 ranking by both wire services with a big win here today. It's 28-0 with a little more than 3 minutes to go. Football season is here. Follow your favorite team on Eyewitness Sports with Bob Warren, 6 and 11 every night on Channel 6.
Okay, there is a beautiful defensive play over there. Let's see, a whole host of white jerseys in there, led by number 67, Mark Motzik, the fine sophomore from Wyandotte, Michigan, who led the charge. A loss of 1 on the play as the defensive forward wall of the Seminoles diagnosed that play. In at nose guard now is the freshman from Miami, James Gilbert. So he's giving Ron Simmons a blow with 2:31 remaining on the clock here in the 4th and final period. Wilson hands it off to his running back. He's stacked up, and once again Arthur Scott in to hit the ball carrier first. Back behind the 20-yard line, another loss. 1 yard on the play. 4th down, and once again the Syracuse Orange, who are bedecked in the traditional colors of orange and blue from a neighbor to the south of us, will punt the ball away for the Syracuse Orangemen. Double safety for the Seminoles will be Ivory Joe Hunter and Keith Jones. There is the kick, and once again Warren almost. There's a fumbled football by Keith Jones as he attempted to catch that punt at his 40-yard line. He fumbled the football but fell on it at the 45-yard line. So 1:48 to go, Gene, and the Seminoles set up shop at their 36-yard line.
28-0. Florida State scoring 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. Their first touchdown in this ball game came with 13:42 left in the 2nd period. Jordan dove in from 1 yard away, but in the 4th quarter with 11:54 to go, Jordan hit Grady King. At 10:06 in the 4th, Woodham hit Flowers, and with 7:01, Jader Carey went in for a touchdown from 9 yards out.
Here's a pass now from Woodham to the freshman, Milt Razor, from Pompano Beach Bishop Ealy High School, and it's complete for 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1 at the 45-yard line. So Razor gave his
just
chance.
Come in. He gets his first opportunity to play for the Garnet and Gold here in the waning moments of this first football game of 1978, and the Seminoles on top 28-0 are going to fly home with the good feeling of winning a very important ball game in this season, the first game here at Archbold Stadium.
Here's Woodham. Woodham a handoff to number 26, and he cuts at the 40-yard line, 1st down, and that's number 26. We'll have to pick him up for you. I don't think we have him on the roster.
We do not have him on the roster.
Let's see if I can pick him up just from memory.
Here we go. Just straight handoff.
And you can see it
left
there.
Side, good blocking.
I believe that's Wade Wallace.
I think Wade is wearing 26 out of Birmingham.
Wade Wallace, a junior from Birmingham, Alabama. 1st and 10 to go for the Seminoles, and the spirit of the Orangemen has been broken here in the 2nd half. Woodham, handoff to Keith Kennedy, 30-yard line, 25-yard line. He cuts back and knocked out of bounds at the 18-yard line. A burst of speed by Keith Kennedy, the junior from Red Bay, Alabama. And the Seminoles are driving again with 1:10 to go.
22-yard scamper by Keith Kennedy. A little delay, a stagger handoff from Woodham. Watch this double pump. Here he goes to Kennedy. Good wedge blocking left side, and there goes Kennedy off to the races. Nearing the sideline before he's finally upended by defensive quarterback for the Orange of Syracuse, and that was John Patterson along with Jim Collins closing in.
54 seconds to go. Woodham driving the Seminoles once again, trying to get another touchdown here. I guess if you're wondering why do they want to run it up, we're not scheduled to play Syracuse again, Gene, in the next 10 years or so. And I'm sure that Bobby at this point just wants to run out the clock. He'd be satisfied to have another touchdown, but if he doesn't get it, of course, 28-0 is not bad for Saturday afternoon work.
Under a half-minute left in this ball game. Florida State on top and will win it 28-0 or perhaps more.
Here's Woodham. He hands it off to Kennedy once again in the middle of the line at the 15-yard line, and he will be down at that point. It'll be a third down, I'm sorry. Third down at the 15-yard line. 5, 4, 3,